Okay, so this video, I'm gonna go through the SPP maths paper. So this is the trial 2023 SPP Sekolah Asrama Penuh Matematik Kertas 1 trial 2023. Okay, so let's go. Skip. Okay, number one. Round off 0.0897 correct to two significant figures. Significant figures, we have to count from left to right. So 0.0897, and then we have to count from left to right. But we don't count the zero. We will never ever count the zero in front. I repeat one more time. The zero in front, we will never ever count it as significant figures. But the zero at the back, we only count it when there's a decimal. Okay, when there's a decimal point. So let's do this question. So when we count two significant figures from left to right, we will skip this zero and skip this zero because the zero in front, we never count it. So we just count like this, 1, 2, and then we draw a line to separate them. So what we want to do is we want to erase this digit, but when we erase, we have to check whether this digit is more than 5 or not. If it's more than 5, you have to plus 1 first, then only you can erase. So this is 7. 7 is obviously more than 5, so I have to plus 1 here. And then baru saya boleh erase. So you will end up with 0.0. The 89 will become 90. So the answer is D. Okay, some student will ask me this. Sir, what if I write 0.09? Wrong. Because 0.09 is one significant figure. Okay? This answer only has one significant figure. But this one has two significant figure. Yes, because we count it from left to right. The zero in front, I already mentioned, you will never ever count it in whatever cases. The zero in front, we never count it. But the zero at the back, we only count it when there is a decimal point. So do we count this zero? Yes, actually, because this value has a decimal point. So it's actually two significant figure. That is why the answer is D. Walaupun 0.090 and 0.09, they are actually the same thing, right? But you have to put the zero there to how to say, so that it has two significant figures. The zero at this one, actually not many people know, yeah, because a lot of students will thought, like, for example, if I give you 100 like that, right, and then I give you 1.0, a lot of students will make the mistake. They will say that this one have three significant figure, but wrong. This one only have one significant figure, right? Kenapa? Because I told you already, the zero at the back, do we count it? We only count it when there is a decimal point. Do you see decimal point here? No. So there's only one significant figure. So the zero at the back, we don't count it. That's why it's only one. But a lot of students thought they have three for this. Okay, what about the next one? Can you guess got how many significant figure? The correct answer here is 2. Okay, the correct answer here is 2. Because the zero at the back, we count. Why we count it? Because there is a decimal point. Okay, so I repeat one more time. The zero in front, never ever count it. But the zero at the back, we only count as significant figure when there is a decimal point in the value. So this one we count it. So if I give you 1.00, it actually becomes 3 significant figure. Okay, so you understand, even though this and this are basically the same, how to say, they give you the same answer, right? They are both 1, but they have different significant figure. Okay, so this is very important concept to understand. So yeah. Okay, continue with number 2. Given m base 5 equals to this one plus this one plus this one plus this one, this value of m. Okay, first of all, if you look at A, B, C, D, we can straight away look at the answer already. 5 power 4 times 3. It means you will have 5 digit. So this is wrong. And then times 3. So the first number has to be 3. 5 power 3 tak ada dekat sini. So it has to be 0, the next one. 5 power 2 times 2. So this must be 2, third digit. And then 5 power 5 is actually 5 power 1, right? So 5 power 1 have to times 1. So this is wrong. So the answer is D. Okay, let me explain what I did just now. So let me explain. So we all know that if it's a base 5 number, the place value for all these digits will be 5 power 0, 5 power 1, 5 power 2, 5 power 3, 5 power 4. Why I stop at 5 power 4 is because the one they write here, the highest power of 5 is 5 power 4. That is why I stop at 5 power 4. And if it's 5 power 4, it means got how many digits? 5 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You understand, right? What if it's 5 power 3? The highest power here is 5 power 3. Then it will have 4 digits. Okay, because we will include the 5 power 0. That's why if we include the 5 power 0 until 5 power 4, there will be 5 digits. That's why I straight away cut the A and B. Okay, because A and B confirm wrong already. And what we have to put here for the digit, well, they say 5 power 4 times 3. It means 5 power 4, saya kena darat 3. 2 times 5 power 2, the 2 I have to write below 5 power 2 lah. Okay, and then 5 is actually 5 power 1, right? So I will write 1 here. Not write 5 here. You not write 5 here, salah, because It has to be, you have to times them together. If you write 5 times 5 becomes 25 already. So it's wrong already. So it's actually you have to write 1, so that 5 power 1 times 1 is 5 power 1. And then 4 actually comes from 4 times 1, which is same as 4 times 5 power 0, because 5 power 0 is 1. So 5 power 0 times 4, here I write 4. And the one yang tak ada, I just letak 0. That's why the answer is D. Alright. But of course, there's another method. If you want to do it slowly, you can also do it like this. You can tekan all this in your calculator. Alright, because if you tekan all this in your calculator, the calculator will give you one answer, and that answer will be in base 10. Okay, and then what you do with the answer is you convert to base 5 using the bahagi punya cara. It means you put this number inside here, and then you write the remainder, and then you bahagi 5, bahagi 5, bahagi 5 until this thing eventually gets 0, and then the remainder will show you the answer. Okay, so you understand, right? So you can do it like this also, but this method is a bit slow lah. It's a bit slow, but you end up getting 30214 as your final answer. Okay, all right. So I think this is good enough. Let's continue. Number 3, a total of 20 solid metal cubes. So let's draw cube, 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 cube. So there's 20 of them with side 5 meter. So if the cube side is 5 meter, all sides should be 5 meter, because cube means all the side have same sama panjang, same length. So it will melt it down. So imagine if you melt the metal cube, it means the solid will become liquid. Do you agree? Because if I melt it, then this thing will become cecair. Cecair means like it will become like liquid. Okay, liquid. And we can actually find the volume of the liquid, right? And then it says the form 400 identical solid sphere, calculate volume of each solid sphere. Let's calculate total volume of liquid first, because this is solid, right? So the volume of solid, volume of cube is 5 times 5 times 5, right? But it's in meter, and you have to times with 20 because there's 20 of them. So let's press this and see what I get first. 20 times 5 times 5 times 5. So my calculator give me 2,500, but this one is in meter cube, and it's the volume of total liquid after I melt all these 20 solid cube. So you understand, huh? So this is the total volume of liquid after I melt down all the cubes, right? And what happens here is I take this volume, this liquid, I use it to form 400 sphere, and they want me to calculate volume of one sphere. So I just take 2,500 meter cube, divide by 400, and then I will get the answer in meter cube, right? So let's press calculator and see what I get. Okay, my calculator gives me 6.25. 6.25. But what is the unit? What is the unit? Meter cube. Meter cube, right? So now they say calculate the volume in cm cube of each solid sphere. This is the volume of each solid sphere, but it's in meter cube. So how can we convert to cm cube? All right, this one, I need you all to listen. This is very important question. So if I give you 1 meter, it's equal to how many cm? Okay, I'm sure most of you can answer me this. 1 meter is equals to 100 cm. But let me ask you, 1 meter square equals to how many cm? You see, most of you will jawab me 100, but it's wrong. Sorry, I slept to this. 1 meter square equals to how many cm square? Cm square. So 1 meter square equals to how many cm square? Okay, some students, they will buat salah, they will say it's 100 here, but it's wrong. It's wrong. So 1 meter square is not equals to 100 cm square. If you are converting from meter square to cm square, you cannot times 100. Okay, you have to times 10,000. Wait, not that, 1,000. 1,000. Yeah. Let me explain. Because 1 meter square comes from 1 meter times 1 meter. Do you agree? When you have 1 meter times 1 meter, you get 1 meter square, right? And we all know from here, 1 meter is equivalent to 100 cm, right? So 1 meter is equivalent to 100 cm. So it will become 100 cm times 100 cm. And if you press this in your calculator, you will get 10000. It means 4 zeros. So it means 1 meter square is actually equals to 10,000, not 1,000, 10,000 cm square. So you understand. So now tell me now, if meter cube, I want to convert to cm cube, can I just times 100? Cannot, cannot. 1 meter cube is not equals to 100 cm cube. This is just wrong. So how to convert to cm cube? Okay, I will explain it same way like just now. If I want to convert meter cube to cm cube, 1 meter cube is actually 1 times 1 times 1. Do you agree? It's actually 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter. And we all know from here 1 meter is 100 cm. It means I have to press 100 cm times 100 cm times 100 cm. That's the end I'll get here, right? So let's press calculator. 100 times 100 times 100. So 100 times 100 times 100. So my calculator actually give me 1 and then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So 6 zeros. So it's actually like 1 million, if I'm not mistaken. So 1000000. So 1 million cm cube, right? So this is how you convert meter cube to cm cube. You have to darab dengan 1 million. It means the 6.25 meter cube, if I want to convert to cm cube, I have to times with this 1 million lah. But if you look at the answer A, B, C, D, they give all your answer in standard form, right? So I will not, how to say? I will not darab 1 million. I will just write it like this: 6.25 times 1 million, and 1 million is actually 10 power 6, right? So this is your final answer. The answer is B, right? Of course, you can also convert this to 6250000, because we will move it from here, right? So 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will change to this one also, right? But since the answer gives us in standard form, right? And we are doing objective, right? So the working is not important, right? Yang penting is we circle the correct answer. So yeah, this thing is actually equivalent to the D answer. So that's why D is the final answer lah. Okay. So hope you understand. Okay, let's continue with number 4. This is interior angle and exterior angle of polygon. Okay, it's like a lower form chapter also, form 2, form 3 punya chapter. Let's read the question. Diagram 1 shows two regular polygon. This word is very important. Regular in bahasa Melayu sekata means sama panjang. So sama siapa yang sama? E F G H J K L M N. So E F G H J K L M N. So the besar punya lah. Right? So these are all the same length. And can you tell me if this is a regular polygon, what will be the angle? The interior angle for all this one will be same also, right? And we can actually find this angle by using this formula. Sum of interior angle equals to n minus 2 times 180. This formula, we use it to find the sum of all this angle add together, right? But after I find the sum, I can divide by n. Means I can divide by how many sides I have. Because this is a regular polygon, it means all the angle here will be exactly the same, right? They have the exact same angle. That's why you can divide. But of course, if it's not regular, you cannot divide n lah. Okay, but anyways, let's keep reading first. Apa lagi yang regular? EFPQR is also a regular. So this is a pentagon. So yeah, this one sama. Okay. And of course, we can also use the same formula to find all the angle inside the interior lah, inside the pentagon. And I can tell you straight away, this angle is 108, 108, 108, 108, 108. So some student might ask me, hey, sir, how you know this is 108? Well, it's because I use this formula. So n is for you to masuk the how many sides. So for example, if I want to find the sum of interior angle of this polygon with 5 sides, okay, so I'll just ganti 5 minus 2 times 180. Can you divide by n? Okay, you can only divide by n if it's regular. Because if it's not regular, you cannot divide by n, right? So this is regular. That's why all the angle will be exactly same. That's why you can divide 5, right? So you press this 3 times 180 divide 5, and you will really get 108. That is why I mentioned in the beginning, all this angle inside is 108, right? Then what about all this angle? You can find this angle as well, right? All this angle that I'm labeling now. Yeah, you can find this also. But let's count got how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is actually a polygon with 9 sides. So it's called a nonagon. But is it regular? Yeah, it's regular. All sides same panjang, sama panjang. It means that all the angles should be the same as well. So when we use this formula, it will become 9 minus 2 times 180. But if you are just using this formula, you are only finding the sum, the jumlah, the hasil jumlah, right? But we have to divide by 9 so that I can get each angle. So let's press calculator. 7 times 180 divide 9. Okay, my calculator give me 140. So what is 140? 140 will be the interior angle, the inside angle of the nonagon. So all this nonagon punya interior angle is 140, 140, 140, 140. Okay, this one be careful. You cannot label 140 here, because 140 is actually like from here to here, the whole thing, right? So yeah, so I will not label here. And then here also the whole thing should be 140. Okay, and then here, okay, here we can label 140. Here also we can label 140. And remember, here the 140 is actually here to here. Okay, so I will not label that, but I know that the whole thing should be 140 lah. Okay, so far I have this much information already. Now they says determine value of x. Okay, where is x? X is here, right? So how can I find x? Well, if I want to find x, I can use this shape. Let me highlight it. I can use this shape. Yeah, this shape. Okay. Yeah, I will use this shape to find the value of x. But how can I do it? Okay, first of all, can I find this angle? The answer is yes, because I mentioned to you already, the whole thing here is 140. So if the whole thing here is 140, it means I can find here, I just take 140 minus 108. So my calculator give me 32 degrees. So I'm just gonna label it 32 degrees. And then what about here? Can I find this angle? The answer is yes also, because one circle is 360. And when you minus 65 minus 108, uh, minus 65 minus 108, you will get 187. Yeah, you'll get 187. So the 187 is the angle here, right? And maybe you'll ask me, sir, why you find all this angle? Because I told you already, I'll be using this red color polygon to find x. So if you look at the red color shape, what is this shape actually? This is actually a pentagon. Do you agree? Because it has 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if it's a pentagon, can we use this formula to find the sum of interior angle? Yes, right? So this time I will use the same formula, n minus 2 times 180. 5 minus 2, because got 5 sides, times 180. But this time you cannot divide 5. Why? Why you cannot divide 5 to find the angle x? It's because all these 5 sides, are they same length? No. No, this is not a regular pentagon. Dia bukan sama panjang punya, right? It's not regular. Regular means not all sides same length. Not all sides sama panjang. So we cannot divide by n. But we can still use this formula to get the sum. To get the sum. So after I get the sum, I minus all this lah. Then I will get my x lah. You understand, right? So it's very clear that it's not regular, because if it's regular, every angle will be 108 inside the pentagon, and all the angle will be same one. But you can see this one all different one. 32, 140, 140, so it's different. That is why you cannot assume that it's regular, and it's not regular. Okay, so 3 times 180, if you press this, you'll get 540. But this is not the answer. This is the sum of all angle add together inside the pentagon, right? But just now there's another pentagon, but this pentagon is regular. That's why I can take the 540 divide 5 to get 108. But this is not regular. That's why you cannot divide 5. So the correct way to find x is tekan 540 minus, 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 minus. So I'm going to press now 540 minus 140, and then minus 140 again, and then minus 187 minus 32. All right. If you got pressed with me, you will get 41 degree exactly. So the answer is C. All right. So hope you understand. Okay, number 5, let's go. Diagram 2 shows a plan of circular pond. Plan means top view, all right? The top view, it means you tengok dari atas, pandangan atas. Then we call it plan. So this is a circular pond. Point O is the center of circle. Okay, I can see it. And the straight wall EFG touches the point at point F. So EFG touches the circle at point F. It means this EFG line is actually a tangent line. All right. When the line touches the circle at one point, we call it a tangent line. And what is point F? Point F is the contact point, right? That contact point, we call it tangent point, right? Tangent point. And we need to know something. When there is a circle and there is a tangent point, there is some formulas that we can use, right? The first formula we need to know is, from the tangent point, if I tarik satu line macam ni to the side of circle, and I tarik another line to the side of circle, and I sambung them like this to form a triangle, this angle and this angle will be same, x. And then this angle y and this angle y will be same, right? But you can only use this formula when the two vertices of the triangle is on the side of the circle. If I tarik macam ni, this one we cannot use this formula, because this vertices is not on the side of the circle. You can only use this when the tangent point tarik dua line, and these two lines have to reach the side of the circle, and then baru sambung to form a triangle. Then only we can use this formula. Another formula that we can, apply when there is a tangent point is, center of circle tarik to tangent point will always be 90 degrees. Okay, it will forever be like that. From center, not from other points. It has to be exactly from the center. Then only it's 90 degree. So I think I'll be using these two formulas to solve this question. So let's read down first. Given that EFL is 78, I think I should label this EFL 78. Oh, they already labeled for me. KLF 63. Okay, they also labeled for me. Calculate the value of X. So X duduk dekat sini, right? Okay, let me ask you, can I say X is 78? Because this one I said already, right? Okay, let me highlight it for you. So, did you see that this is tangent point? And dia tarik satu line sampai until it reach the side of circle. And then tarik another line until reach on the side of circle. And then they form a triangle, right? So, doesn't that mean that I can use this, right? It means that this angle sama dengan sini, this angle sama dengan sini. So, can I say that X is 78 because 78 sama dengan sini? No. No, you have to tengok betul-betul. This 78 is from here to here. It means here to here will be 78. But look at X. X is like not at the, it's not 78, right? Because you have to take 78 minus this small part, then only you get X. It means you have to find this small part first. Then only you can take 78 minus this one to get X. All right? Hope you understand. Huh? But let me ask you this. Can I find this angle? Can I find this angle from here to here? Yes, because the angle here is 63 degree. Because here is 63, here will be 63, so it will be exactly the same. Okay, because of this formula, I already explained it to you. So if this is 63, this is 63, and this is 78, this is also 78, but the 78 is including this small part. Okay, so hope you understand. Now how to find x? Okay, let me think. Can I find this angle? Yes, but it doesn't help us, right? What I'm trying to find here is this small angle. This small angle is what I want actually, because if I have this small angle, I can take 78 minus this one to get x. So what I will do here is I will tambah satu line. Yeah, I will actually draw another line. I will tell you why later. I will draw another line from the center to the tangent point, right? And the reason why I'm doing this is because I know if I tarik satu line macam ni, this line and this line would be sama panjang because they are both radius. They will be sama panjang. And if they are sama panjang means this angle and this angle will be same because this will be a isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle means segitiga yang sama kaki lah. So it means this angle will be exactly the same. So if I want to find this angle, it's the same as finding this angle, right? And can I find this angle? Yes. We apply the second formula that I tell you just now. When we have a center point, tarik tangent point, it will always be 90 degree. And do you remember just now, I tambah satu line myself from center to point F, and point F is the tangent point. That is why I can find this angle. I just take 90 minus 63, then I'll get here, right? So let's press calculator. 90 minus 63, I get 27. And guess what? If this is 27, this will be 27 also. So my x will be 78 minus 27, right? It will be 78 because the whole thing I already know from the beginning is 78 minus 27. So I'm just going to press this and then I'll get my final answer. So my calculator gave me 51. So let's go to ABCD, 51. Yeah, so that's the answer. Okay, that's all. Okay, let's do number 6. Diagram 3 shows two octagon. Octagon means it has 8 sides drawn on the Cartesian plane. So nothing important here. Now it says octagon 2 is the image of octagon 1 under transformation. Describe in full the transformation. Okay, when we are doing this type of question, the transformation question, it's always important to determine who's the object, who's the image. Because if you label, if you label the object image wrongly, it will affect your answer, right? Because going from here to here and going from here to here will give you different different answer, right? So that's why it's very important to write down who's the image. So 2 is the image, means this is the image, and then 1 must be the object lah. That's what it means by 2 is image of 1. So 2 is image, I is object. It means I'm going from object to image. So from this one go to this one, right? So now I want to describe the transformation. Okay, transformation got 4 types. We have translation, we have reflection, we have rotation, we have enlargement. Okay, so whenever we want to describe, we have to make sure which one it will be one of these 4 lah. Okay, so from octagon 1 to octagon 2, do you think okay, let's try to check whether it's enlargement or not first. We always check enlargement first because this is the easiest one to determine, like whether it's enlargement or not. Because if it's enlargement, the size will change. Yeah, the area will change, the size will change. So if you look at this enlargement, ada tak dia jadi lebih besar or lebih kecil or the size change? No, right? It looks exactly the same. Okay, like the size is exactly the same. So we know it's not enlargement. So it's either translate, reflect, or rotate. So if it's this case, I check whether it's translation or not first, because translation is also very easy to tengok, right? So what macam mana nak tahu translation? Translation is you are just taking the octagon and you're just shifting left, right, up, down. That's all. It means that the orientation will not change. But if you look at this, look at this tajam punya part. It's pointing to this direction, right? But if you look at the image, this tajam punya bucu becomes here already and it's pointing towards the other direction. It means the whole thing flip upside down already. this shape and this shape, the whole thing flip upside down, and the orientation is no longer the same already. It means it's not translation, because if it's translation, this thing, if it's pointing towards that direction, after the image will also have one tajam punya point like that pointing towards there. So definitely it's not translate, it's either reflect or rotate. And I always teach my student, if you know it's not enlargement and it's not translation, it's either reflect, rotate, you will use which method? You will use you will use your ruler to draw lines. Yeah, you will join lines, and after you join lines, you will know which one is reflection, rotation. Let me explain to you how you know that it's reflection. Okay, after you join the lines, if your lines look like this, all of the lines are parallel, then it's reflection. Okay, okay. Then what about rotation? How will the lines look like after you join all the lines? Okay, if rotation 90-degree, okay, let's talk about 180 first lah. If 180, all the lines will intersect nicely at one point. Okay, so if all the lines later you draw intersect nicely here, then you know it's a rotation 180-degree. Okay, but it has to be every line, every single line also got intersection. 90 is when it's not this case and it's not this case, right? Dia macam ada intersection, but the intersection is like not bukan semua line yang intersect dekat satu point. It's like satu line intersect sini, satu lagi intersect dekat tempat lain, macam tu lah. Okay, it's like very messy one, right? This one is like very nice one, where every line intersect at one point, but this one is like very cacat one lah. Then you know it's 90-degree. Okay, so now let's start drawing lines. And remember, when you draw lines, you have to make sure you draw to the corresponding point. You cannot simply draw, wow, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Cannot. You have to draw to the corresponding point. So for example, this tajam punya point must join with this, because they are corresponding. Yeah, you have to join to the corresponding point. And then this one, three kotak here, must be joined with this one. You understand, right? Because you always have to join with the corresponding point. Okay, you cannot simply join to any point you want, cannot. And then this one must be this one. Okay, this one is definitely joining to this point. And then this one is this one. And then this one, I think is the atas punya, this one, right? And then this one is like that. Then this one is like this. And the final one is like this. Okay, after you join all the lines, you realize that all the points intersect at 0, 0. Do you agree? So is which case? Is it reflection ataupun rotate 90 ataupun rotate 180? Rotate 180, right? Because I mentioned already, if all the lines intersect nicely at one point, it means this is rotation 180. Definitely this is a rotation 180-degree. But is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? Oh, remember when you describe, you have to write 90-degree or 180-degree. And then you have to write clockwise or anti-clockwise, and then you have to write the center. Yeah, you have to write these three things when you are describing. In paper 2 lah, but of course in paper 1 you can straight away look at the answer. But I want you to know how to answer in paper 2 also. So rotation 180. So 180 clockwise or anti-clockwise. Actually, it doesn't matter, because if for rotation 180-degree, you can just choose either one. Okay, but for rotation 90-degree, you have to tengok betul-betul lah, clockwise or anti-clockwise. But if 180, you tulis mana-mana pun boleh. So you just simply choose one. So let's say just write clockwise, and then about center. So the center will be what? Okay, for rotation 180-degree, the center will be exactly at the intersection point of all the lines, which is 0, 0. So this is how you describe. This is the answer. Okay. Okay. What if it's rotation 90-degree? Then you have to use compass to find the center. If for that, you have to use compass. Okay, or maybe there's a lot of method out there lah, but the method that I use is by using compass. Okay, but anyways, this is the answer. Let's go to ABCD and just choose the answer lah. So I know it's not A, because it says reflection, wrong. This one reflection, wrong also. Rotation 180-degree above center, wrong, because the center is not 1, 0. The center is 0, 0. So the answer is D. Okay, so that's how you do it. Okay, it's not reflection. Okay, reflection, I told you already, all the lines will be parallel when you join them together. Okay, so yep, hope you remember how to differentiate reflection and rotation. Okay, all right, let's do number 7. Diagram 4 shows two quadrilateral J and K. Okay, drawn on the Cartesian plane. Quadrilateral K is image of quadrilateral J. I just told you last question, right? Is the last question, and this question is the same chapter. When we are doing this type of transformation question, always label object and image, because If you don't label it, it's very easy to buat salah. So K is image of J under enlargement. So K is image means I have to go to K and label image I, and then J will be the object. And then they already said it's under enlargement. So I already know it's under enlargement. But what I want to find is determine the scale factor and the center of enlargement. Okay, yeah, when we describe enlargement, we have to mention these two important things, which is scale factor and the center of enlargement. Okay, first of all, let's talk about scale factor. Scale factor is I bahagi dengan O. But this I and this O stands for length of image and length of object. It's the length, not area. If area, you cannot use this formula. If area, you have to use another formula, which is area of image equals to K square times area of object. But this formula, you can only use for length. Okay, panjang image bahagi panjang object. But of course, you have to take the corresponding lah, two corresponding sides. So let's try to put in the length of image. So if I count from here, image, I can choose any side I want, right? But let's choose the side yang easy to count how many kotak. So I can actually choose this. So from here to here is 2 units, right? But which one will be the corresponding side in the object? It will be this one, right? Yeah, okay. This is the line that is corresponding with this line. Okay. It means yeah, the whole thing flip upside down already. So you have to take this panjang lah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be 4 units, right? So now tell me, the formula will be 4 divide 2 or 2 divide 4? Length of image divide length of object. It should be 2 divide 4. Okay. But it's wrong. Let me tell you why. This scale factor 2/4, when you cut, you get 1/2, right? But if you look carefully, this object and this image, when you find the center, how will you do it is you will draw lines, right? You don't need compass for this. You will draw lines, join all the corresponding point, and then the intersection point will be at the center. And let me tell you, I already know that the center will be somewhere in between them. And let me tell you, if the center is in between, it means that the object and image is on opposite side. You have to put negative in your scale factor. It means that this answer is actually -1/2. Okay, because when your object and image is at opposite side, the scale factor have to put negative. Okay, but the scale factor is 1/2 lah, because the image is getting smaller. And when your image is getting smaller, your K is automatic less than 1, right? That's why it's 0.5. But the negative has nothing to do with the size. The negative is just because it's opposite side. The negative is just because it's opposite side. So but what if the center is here, the object is here, the image is here? Then the scale factor will be positive, because object and image is on the same side, right? But if it's the center is in between, then of course you have to put the negative, right? Okay, let's find the center now. And prove to you why I have to put negative. So we have to join corresponding points. So this one have to go with this. Betul. Yes. Make sure you join corresponding point. Don't simply join. So this one, I think is this one, maybe. Yeah. And then this one is which one? I think it's this one. Yeah. And then the last one will go here. And you can see all the lines intersect at one point only, which is this point. So this is the center. And how do we read this point? -1, 0. So the center is -1, 0, and the scale factor is -1/2. I repeat one more time why I have to add negative. It's because the center is in between the object and image. It's like in the middle. And the object and image is on the opposite side from the centers. That is why I have to put the negative. And the negative has nothing to do with the size. Please. Negative doesn't mean it's getting smaller or bigger. No. Negative just means that whether it's on the same side or on different side. That's all. So the answer is -1/2, -1, 0. So which one is the answer? A is wrong because the center they write wrong. B is also wrong because scale factor tak ada negative. D is also wrong. So the answer is C, -1, 0. Yep. So this is the answer. And I want to give one more advice. When we are finding scale factor, we're taking image divide object, right? Make sure you take the 2 bahagi 4, because some students they might take 2 bahagi 2, then it's wrong already, because you have to take corresponding sides. This is not corresponding dengan yang ni. So you kena pilih side yang sepadan. Sepadan means corresponding. Okay. So if you're taking this side, you have to take kawan dia, which is this one. But if you want to take this one, can also. But if you take this one, then you bahagi dengan this one lah. You faham maksud saya? Like that, right? Always take corresponding. Okay. Hope you understand. All right, let's go number 8. Diagram 5 shows a tessellation consisting of hexagon which are produced by isometric transformation. Hexagon means this polygon has 6 sides. And then isometric, what is isometric? Isometric is when the transformation will not, the size will not change. Yeah, isometric transformation is transformation that will not affect the size of the object. So, for example, isometric transformation is translation, reflection, and rotation. Okay, so these three we call it isometric transformation. Then what about enlargement? Well, enlargement is a non-isometric transformation. Why is it non-isometric? Because enlargement will affect the size. It will change the size. It will change the area of the object. That is why it's non-isometric. Isometric means the size will stay the same even after you translate, reflect, rotate. That's why this three is considered isometric transformation. Okay, anyways, let's continue. What is the transformation involved to produce S from R? So S from R means R is object lah, because from R, and then this one is image. So from R to S, A answer says reflection, B is translation, C is rotation, D is all of above. The answer is B. Yeah, because this one you want to go from R to S is by just doing translation. Actually, all of these they are translation of each other. Reflection cannot. Yeah, cannot, because reflection it's like very weird one, I think. Yeah. I don't think reflection works. Rotation also it doesn't work. All of above, no, because I already mentioned cannot reflect. Yeah. This one when you reflect, it's like very you will not get like this. Yeah. So the correct answer here is translation. Yeah. This is very easy actually. You just use your eyes and just look at like all have same orientation, right? Yeah, they never upside down also, they never flip upside down also. So yeah, it's just translation. Okay. So nothing much to explain actually. Yeah, it's quite simple. Yeah. Okay, let's go to number 9. Diagram 6 shows a graph of quadratic function. Determine the equation of axis of symmetry. Okay, there is two methods. Find the turning point coordinate, right? So let's write here how to find TP. TP stands for turning point. It can be minimum point, it can be maximum point. There's two methods only you learn in mathematics. In NMaths, actually got three methods. Okay, because in NMaths, they learn a method called completing the square. But in maths, you only have to care about these two methods. The first method is find the x-intercept. Find the x-intercept, and then you take the x-intercept, take the x1 plus x2, divide by 2, right? And then the third method, okay, after you find the x-intercept and you take the x-intercept plus together divide 2, you will get the x coordinate. Okay, you will get the x coordinate of the turning point, right? And then after you get the x coordinate point, you sub the x coordinate into the original y equation, into the equation, and then you can get the y coordinate of the turning point. So this is step number 1. I mean the method, one of the method lah. So I repeat one more time. Find the x-intercept of the curve. Take the both x-intercept plus together divide by 2. And when you plus divide by 2, you will straight away get the middle of the curve, which is the x coordinate of the turning point lah. And then you substitute the x into the original equation, then you can get your y. This is how you find turning point. But you can also use another formula, which is x equals negative b over 2a. Right? Yeah, you can use this method also. This method is very fast. B is what is B? B is like, for example, if I give you an equation in general form, B will be the coefficient of x, the number in front of x here, that's B. And then A will be the number in front of x squared, right? And of course, after you use this formula, you will straight away get the x coordinate of the turning point. But how to get the y coordinate? You substitute the x into y lah, into the original equation, right? But the problem with this question is they never give us the equation of curve. Do you agree? Yeah, they never give you equation of the curve. It means there's but it's okay because they never ask you to find turning point. They ask you to find axis of symmetry. And let me tell you, axis of symmetry means you are taking the x coordinate of the turning point lah. Because axis of symmetry means they don't want you to find the y coordinate. They only want you to find the x coordinate of the turning point. And how to find x coordinate? You can either use this method or you can use this method. Of course, this method cannot use because yeah, they never give us any equation here for me to I don't even know what is my B and A, right? So definitely I have to use this method, which means I have to take the x-intercept plus together divide 2. And they actually gave us the x-intercept in the diagram. The first x-intercept is -3, the second one is 5. So to get the middle, you just have to take this one, tambah, and then divide 2 to get the middle. So I'll take -3 plus 5. After you plus and then divide 2, because I want to find the middle, the midpoint. So you press this, you will get 1. So the answer should be x equals 1. Okay, so yeah, that's how you do it. Okay, let's go to number 10. Simplify this whole thing. Okay, if I want to simplify this, I have to talk about the indices. I have to talk about indices. These are all, okay, this question is an indices question. So let's talk about indices. So first rule, if I give you a power m times a power n, it will become a power m plus n. When we have two numbers, same base, when you times the power, we need to plus. Second rule, if I give you a power m divide a power n, it will be a power m minus n. Same base bahagi, the power have to minus. And then third rule, if I give you a power m power n, it will be a power mn, because you will take the m times with the n. So it means we can also write it like this, a power n power m. Because when you take n times m, you will get the same thing. Alright? It means that dia boleh tukar tempat lah. Okay. Okay, next. What about number 4? Number 4 is when we have a power negative. So when we have power negative, we can make it positive, but we have to letak bawah. So it becomes 1 over a power m. Right? It means bila you naik from bawah to atas or atas to bawah, base dia takkan tukar tau. Base dia tetap sama. The A is still A, but the power kena tukar tanda. Okay. So when you're moving up to down, down to up, you can move, you can do that, but the base will not change. The base will stay the same. Just the power only will change sign. The power will change from negative to positive, positive, negative, macam tu lah. Okay, what about rule number 5? What is rule number 5? Okay, if I give you square root A, it's actually a power 1 over 2. And if I give you cube root A is actually a power 1 over 3. And if I give you fourth root A, it's actually a power 1 over 4. Okay, so these are all kena tahu. And I think there's one more, the last one, which is a power 0 is always equals to 1. What does it mean by this? It means anything in this world, any number in this world, power 0 will give you 1. Okay, so anything power 0 is 1. Right? So you need to make sure you know all these 6 rules, then baru you ada chance untuk buat soalan ni. Okay, let's do this question now. They got put bracket power 1 over 2. It means everything inside the bracket I have to power 1 over 2. So the first thing is m power 2. I have to power 1 over 2. But how to write? Write like this, bracket 1 over 2. And please tell me later these two numbers you have to do what? You have to plus them together or times together? You have to times together because of this rule. The third one, I already mentioned, if the power is side by side like this, you have to times. You gonna darab there. And then what about the n power 4? Well, the n power 4 also have to bracket power 1 over 2. And then there's nothing in between here, right? It means times. Okay, so like that. And then over n power negative 1 also have to power 1 over 2. And then later, don't forget, these two numbers have to darab, have to times them together. And the whole thing have to times with what? Times with n power 5 over 2 times n power 1 over 2. But let me tell you, this one you can tulis atas. N power 5 over 2 times n power 1 over 2. Okay, why I can tulis atas like that is because when we write darab, when we take a fraction, darab dengan sesuatu, and this thing, if I write in the middle like this, means atas yang kena darab. That is why I can straight away tulis atas like this. Okay, so hope you understand. Now we continue to simplify. M power 2 power 1 over 2 is just gonna be m. You know why? Because 2 times 1 over 2, the 2 and 2 can cut. Okay, don't forget you have to times, not plus, times. 2 and 2 cut, you just left with m power 1. But m power 1, usually we don't write when it's power 1 because m power 1 is m, so it's just m. So this one done already. And then times with, what is n power 4 power 1 over 2? Okay, what we have to do with this 2 power? We have to darab, we have to times. So what is 4 times 1 over 2? 4 times 1 over 2 means 4 divide 2 lah, which is 2. Okay, or maybe some students say can cut, can also. You want to potong also can, you will get 2 also. And then times lagi dengan apa? M power 5 over 2 times n power 1 over 2. Yang ni tak boleh simplify dah. And then the whole thing over n power. This one right. The negative one have to times with 1 over 2, which is negative 1 over 2. Okay, now we can ambil yang m, because m hanya boleh buat dengan m, and then n hanya boleh buat dengan n. Alright, I repeat, m hanya boleh buat dengan m, and then n hanya boleh buat dengan n. So I don't have enough space, I'll write it here. So m hanya boleh buat dengan m. So m power nothing means m power 1. So it'll be m power 1 times m power 5 over 2, which is like this, m power 1 times m power 5 over 2. And what we do with the power, this one we have to plus. Okay, we have to take 1 plus 5 because of this, because of the first rule. When we have two numbers same base, the power need to plus. And then don't forget there is n. Okay, so it will be n power what? 2 n power, it will be like this, n power 2 times n dengan n boleh buat. So n power 2 times n power 1 over 2, and then divide n power negative 1 over 2. It means when you have two base summer, the power will be plus. So it will be 2 plus 1 over 2 lah. But then you have to minus with negative 1 over 2, because this one is base summer bahagi then minus lah. If base summer darab, the power will plus. Base summer bahagi minus. That's why it's like this, right? Okay, now you get the answer already. M power what? 1 plus 5 over 2, you can press calculator. You will just get 7 over 2. And then this one, you take n. Okay, what is 2 plus 1 over 2? 5 over 2. 5 over 2 minus means plus. 5 over 2 plus 1 over 2 is 6 over 2, which is 3. So this is the answer. Okay, you can use your calculator to help you when you press this. So the answer is A. Okay, so number 10, the answer is A. Okay, what if sometimes your final answer got power negative? Then you apply this rule lah. You can turun bawah or naik atas like that. Okay, if your power got negative. Okay, so hope you can remember all these 6 rules. And I hope also you understand. Okay, I hope I didn't explain it too fast. Okay. All right, let's go with number 11. Diagram 7 shows a triangle RST. So this is a triangle. Given that the ratio RSST/TR is 1:2:1/2, calculate perimeter of triangle RST. If you want to find perimeter, I need to have 3 sides. Okay, I need to have panjang for all 3 sides. Panjang, not ratio. I don't want ratio, I want panjang. Okay, but they got give us ratio to help us. The RS ratio is 1. So RS, I will write 1, but I have to circle it. Okay, because if I don't circle it, because it's not the length, it's not the panjang, so it's just the ratio, so you have to circle it. So ST is 2, so ST is 2, and don't forget to circle it because this is not the panjang, it's not 2 cm, it's ratio, so but circle it. And then TR is half, so TR I'll write half, and also make sure you circle it. Okay, now I want to find perimeter. I already said if you want perimeter, you need the panjang in cm. So I already know the panjang here in cm is 32, but what is the panjang SR in cm? Well, it's very easy because 1/2 macam mana nak jadi 32? You have to times 64, right? You have to times 64. Okay, let me tell you how I know it's times 64. You just press 32 bahagi 1/2. I repeat one more time. I want to do 1/2 macam mana nak jadi 32. Okay, but I don't want tambah tolak punya. I want darab bahagi punya. So 1/2 macam mana nak jadi 32? Well, I just press 32 bahagi 1/2 lah. Then I get 64. And if you tekan 64 darab 1/2, you get 32. Maksudnya, if I want to convert from ratio to cm, I have to times 64. So you tell me lah, what is SR punya panjang? 64 cm, right? Because ratio nak jadi cm, you have to times 64. So if the ratio is 1, I times 64 is 64 lah. Then what about if it's ratio 2? Then I take 2 times 64, which is 128 cm. Because ratio, kalau nak tukar jadi cm, I have to times with 64. So you just press 2 times 64, this one. And of course, now the ratio is useless already. The ratio is useless already. Because I have the panjang already. So now I just take all these panjang, add together. Then I will have my answer. So let me just press my calculator quickly. Okay, I'm done. My calculator give me 224. So the answer is C. Okay. Okay, now 12. Diagram 8 shows 2 right angle triangles. So this shape is the exam paling suka punya shape, right angle. So because right angle, you can use Pythagoras theorem ataupun Sokato to solve this question. So there's 2 right angle triangle, EFG and HGF. Right angle means dia mesti ada 90 degree, right? But they never label the 90 degree for us. But you tengok pun you boleh tahu the 90 degree is here and here. It's very obvious. Okay, takkanlah sini 90 degree, betul? So yeah, it's here and here lah. And both are right angle triangle, and they say calculate value of x minus y. So I think if I want to calculate x minus y, I have to calculate x separately and y separately first. I have to calculate them both separately. Then only I can minus, right? And how to calculate x and y? Very easy actually, because if you want to calculate x, you will just use Pythagoras theorem to solve it, because you already have the remaining 2 sides, 7 and 24. So you will use Pythagoras theorem, which is to find x, you will take square root, bracket square, and then you will write 24 and 7 because you have the remaining 2 sides. This is the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, but you have to write plus in the middle or minus. Plus. Why? Because you are finding the hypotenuse. It means you are finding the longer side, the side yang paling panjang. So if you want to side paling panjang, you have to take the remaining 2 side, square, and then plus together, and then square root the whole thing lah. So you will get 25 here. So the x panjang is 25. If you press calculator, you will get 25. Now, how to find y? We will use Pythagoras theorem also, but I will write y minus 4. Okay, I will not write y, I will write y minus 4 equals to square root bracket square, because the panjang here is actually y minus 4, it's not y, right? So I will write like this, and here I'll write 26. Okay, the remaining two sides is 26 and 24. So we can use Pythagoras theorem because we have the remaining two sides, right? But this time you plus or minus, this time you minus. Why? Why this time you minus? Because you are not finding the hypotenuse. You are not finding the side yang paling panjang. Side paling panjang is always depan 90 degree. So in this case, I'm not finding the side paling panjang. That's why I have to take minus. And it has to be 26 square minus 24 square. Bukan 24 square minus 26 square. Dia mesti yang ambil paling panjang tolak yang pendek. So like this. So now you end up with y minus 4 equals, and then you press this whole thing in your calculator. We press 26 square minus 24 square first, and then only you square root it. Okay, my calculator give me 10. Okay, after square root is 10. But I want to find y, right? So I should move the minus 4 over there, become plus 4, and I will get 14. Now I know my x, now I know my y. Now it's time to take x minus y. 25 minus 14, 11. Yeah, so that's the answer. Okay, remember to minus them, because the question wants us to minus, right? So yeah. Okay, let's go to number 13. Diagram 9 shows a Venn diagram with universal set P union Q union R. So P union Q, okay, we see it clearly already. Which of the following represents the shaded region? Okay, for this type of question, if it's paper 2, it will be difficult. Because if paper 2, you will not have this. You will just have this as the question, and you have to write down the operation yourself, which is very difficult because they already load it for you already, right? But since we are doing paper 1, we can take advantage of the option here and straight away look at the answer and straight away do it and see which one will give you this shaded region, right? And the method I use will be, I will use the labeling method, which is I will label all this space with, I will label all this empty space. So let's say I'll label it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this, okay? And then after I start labeling, I will write down what is inside P, what is inside Q, what is inside R. So what is inside P? 1 and 2. 2 is also included, huh? 2 is also included. Okay, unless I said P only lah. If I said P only, ada perkataan only, then it's only referring to 1. But if I say P is actually 1 and 2. And then Q will be 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2 inside Q. And then inside R will be 4, 5. And how I can solve this? I straight away look at A, and I will straight away do P union Q complement intersect R. But there is two operation here. Can you see? One operation, two operation. It means we have to decide which operation to do first. So remember, if the other bracket, you have to do yang depan dulu. Okay, if the other bracket, yang depan dulu. So we have to do P union Q complement first. We already know P is 1 and 2, right? But we have to take this whole thing union with Q complement. So union with Q complement. What is Q complement? Selain daripada Q. It means you have to take everything except Q. So everything except Q means everything except 2, 3, 4, which is 1 and 5, right? And then I have to, after I do this, I still have to intersect with R, right? And the R I write here already, which is 4, 5. And now I have to do all this, right? But you can't do both operation at the same time. You have to do this one first. The one I circle first, then only you can intersect 4, 5. So let's do 1, 2, union 4, 5. Union means what? Union means you take everything. You take everything. So 1, 2, 1, 5, take everything. So it will be 1, 2, 5. The one got appear 2 times, right? But we write sekali saja. And don't forget, this is not the answer yet. You still have to intersect with 4, 5. So remember, we do the operation separately. We do the union first, then only we do the one at the belakang. So now we do in the 1, 2, 5 intersect 4, 5. What does it mean by intersect? Intersect means you ambil element yang sama ataupun the element that repeats. Okay, the element yang same lah, same on yang sama dekat both sini. So the one that repeats here is 5 sahaja. It means the answer is 5 for A, which is not the correct answer lah, because the answer for A will just be here only. Here only. Okay, but if you look at the shaded region yang dia lorek, it's not just 5. It's 1, 4, and 5. That is why A is not the answer. But I'm sure if you keep doing B, C, D, mesti akan ada satu yang dia akan, jawapan final dia akan jadi 1, 4, 5. And that will be the answer. Okay, okay, let's do B now. P complement intersect Q union R. P complement means tamau P, means selain daripada P. So tamau 1, 2, it will be 3, 4, 5. And then intersect with Q, which is 2, 3, 4. And then union with R, which is union with 4, 5. But please don't get confused. You must do, there's two operation here. Okay, one is intersect, one is union. But you have to do depan dulu sebab tak ada bracket. So you have to do this one first. That the 4-5 jangan buat dulu, right? So the union 4-5, I'll just write it at the back here. I don't we will just, how to say, leave it there. We just standby dulu. So we buat yang ni dulu. Okay, intersect means what? We choose the same elements. Okay, the same number here lah. So the same labeling here is 3, 3, 4, 4. That's all. So the intersection between these two is 3 and 4. But I still have to union 4-5 to get the final answer. So union means you take everything. So 3, 4, 4, 5, everything. So 3, 4, and 5 lah. And of course, this is also the wrong answer because the soalan never lorate 3 also. Yeah, the correct answer is 1, 4, 5. So B is wrong. Now let's try with C. P intersect Q complement union R. P is 1, 2. So 1, 2. Intersect Q complement. So intersect Q complement means selain daripada Q. Tak mau Q lah. So Q is 2, 3, 4. Selain daripada Q is 1 and 5. Right? And don't forget, there's still a union R at the back. So union R, which is union 4, 5. And now we have to buat yang mana dulu? Ada dua operation. You cannot do both at the same time. It's just not possible. You have to do depan dulu. Okay, kalau tak ada bracket lah. Tak ada bracket, you buat depan punya operation dulu. So 1, 2, intersect 1, 5. Intersect means you choose the intersection, the same, the one yang apa? Yang same in these two. So the one that is same in these two is 1. So the intersection is 1. And then don't forget, I still have to union with 4, 5. Then baru saya dapat final answer. So 1 union 4, 5 means what? Union, ambil semua, ambil semua. So 1, 4, 5, ambil semua. So 1, 4, 5, isn't this exactly the same as the kawasan berlorek yang soalan in the diagram, right? In the diagram, they also lorek 1, 4, 5. So C is the answer. And the D, you don't have to try already because we are doing paper 1. Okay, so when we are doing paper 1, when we know C is the correct answer, we don't have to waste our time anymore, right? Okay, so but if of course if you try to do D yourself, you will not get 1, 4, 5, right? Yeah, you will get other answer. So that's why the correct answer is C. So hope you understand this method and hope you understand my explanation. Okay. Okay, let's go to number 14. Diagram 10 is a Venn diagram that shows the number of pupils according to their favorite sports. The universal set is H union R union K. Okay. H pupils who like play hockey. Okay, I recommend writing what it represents beside. So H is for hockey, students who like hockey. And then R is for rugby. So I'll just write here rugby. And then K is for cricket. Cricket. Okay, I want to ask you, this 37 is student who likes what? Most of you will tell me rugby, but it's wrong. This 37 is not student who like rugby. This 37 is student who likes rugby only. The word only is very important. Okay, only. Okay. Now let me ask you, what about this 5? This 5 is for students who likes what? Rugby and cricket. Okay, rugby and cricket. And means intersection, or means union. So this is the intersection of R and K, right? So this 5 is the student who like rugby and cricket. Now let me ask you, what about this one? This one will be what? Hockey and rugby. Okay. And then what if I said hockey? What if I said hockey? Can I, where is the shaded region? It's not only here. If I said hockey, is actually including here. This is also hockey. Unless they got say only lah. If they say only, then it's only talking about this part. Right? Okay, I think I'm done talking already. Let's do the question. So they says NH equals to 32. Can I write 32 like this? No, you write like this wrongly. I already mentioned the 32, they never said only. If they never said only means the 32 is actually here plus here. 32. So the 32 we cannot label now first, right? Because we have to find this one first. Then only I can take 32 minus to get the other one, right? So the 32 I'll leave it first. And R is 65. Can I write 65 like this? Cannot. Mana boleh? Because because the 65 is for R and they never said only. So it means the 65 is here plus 37 plus 5. These three add together. So I can find this one lah. I just take 65 minus 37 minus 5. Okay, let's press. 65 minus 37 minus 5. Okay, my calculator give me 23. And since I already labeled this, I will cut it like this. And then the 32 also I can cut it because 32 is for the whole thing just now, right? What is 32 minus 23? 9. So yeah, this is 9. It means this 9 is hockey only. Only, 9 is hockey only. Okay, The last one is NK22. Okay, K is this cricket, but you cannot write 22 like this. It's wrong. You have to minus 5 first. Okay. Because if you write like this, unless they got say only. If they say cricket only, then you can write like this, 22 like this. If they say only lah, but they never said only, so you have to take 22 minus 5. So it's 17. And one more thing I want to mention, as you can see, all these numbers, they never put the dot beside. You know why? Because if you put the dot, it will become element. Then it's wrong already. This is not element. This is number of element. Okay. So what this 9 means is like there's 9 dots inside. There's 9 elements. Okay. So you will not put the dot here because number of elements. Okay. Now let's see what they want. Calculate number of people who do not like to play rugby. Students who do not like to play rugby at all. So it will be 9 and 17 lah, right? Why the 23 cannot? Because the 23 is student who likes to play hockey and rugby. That's why this one cannot. Okay. And then 37 also cannot because this one is student who likes to play rugby only. Okay. Only, the word only very important. Then 5 also cannot because 5 is the student who likes to play rugby and cricket. So cannot also lah because they want to find students who do not like to play rugby. Like tak suka rugby langsung. So it's 9 plus 17 lah because the 9 students is student yang hanya suka main hockey only, and then the 17 is only student yang suka main cricket only. So 9 plus 17 is 26. So the answer is 26. So let's go to ABCD. Yep, I see the answer already. So D is your answer. Okay, let's continue. Number 15, which of the following represents fx equals to this? Okay, when I'm doing this type of question, I always, if I'm doing objective, we can do it very fast. So I will arrange this in general form first. General form means the x squared I have to write in front, followed by x, followed by minus 12 like this. And straight away, I look at the A. Because the A, the A will tell you the shape, right? If the A is positive, then it will look like a U shape. If the A is negative, it will look like an N shape. So if you look at carefully, this A is actually the A is 1 for this question. So now you know A is 1, 1 is positive, so it's definitely it's a U shape. So A is wrong, C is also wrong, so it's either B or D, right? And then after I look at this, I will look at the C. Okay, I will look at the C. Okay, because the C is the y-intercept. Okay, so I repeat one more time. For this type of question, I like to look at the A first because the A is like they will straight away tell you how it looks like, whether it's U or N. The next one is I look at the C because the C will tell you the y-intercept. Okay, C is actually the y-intercept. So if you look at the y-intercept, it must be negative 12. So we know A and C wrong already, so it's either B or D. So let's look at B. What is the y-intercept? Negative 12. What is the D? What is the D answer? The C is also negative 12. So both also negative 12, so I still cannot determine which one is the answer. Then only I will look at the B. I will not look at the A, B, C. I will look at A and C first. And it's still memang tak dapat jawapan, baru saya tengok B. So what would be the B? The B is positive one, right? Okay, let me tell you. If the B is positive, it means after the curve touch. Okay, if the B is positive, it means after the curve touches the y-axis, it will go up, right? It means I cannot draw my curve like this lah. This is wrong lah, because if like this means after the curve touches the y, after the y-intercept, the arrow is going down. So the only way to make it positive is to make sure I start here like this. Can you see? After the y-intercept, the arrow go up. If the B is positive lah, but if the B is negative, it will be this case. It will be like this. You see, after the y-intercept, it goes down. Okay, and this formula works also for kalau dia macam ni, kalau dia N shape, right? So if B is positive, macam mana? After the y-intercept, it has to move up. Okay, so can I put my y-axis here? Should I put it here or I should put it here? Okay, I cannot put it here, right? Because I put it here means after the y-intercept, the line is going down, right? And if it's B bigger 0, it has to be after the y-intercept, the arrow pointing up. So it must be, the y-axis must be a little bit on the left side. Do you understand? And if it's B smaller than 0, then only the y-axis is a little bit on the right side. Then only after the C, it will point down. So the answer here is which one? The B, my B is 1, which is positive. So I have to make sure after the y-intercept, it has to move up, right? So after the y, let's look at B. After the y-intercept, it's going down. Can you see? So B is wrong because the B is positive. My B value is positive 1 now. So after the y-intercept, it should move up. So actually, this one is the answer. D is the answer because you can see after the y-intercept, it moves up. Can you see? So D is the answer. Okay, of course, there's another method to do this question. Let me show you another method. Another method is you can find the x-intercept. You can find the x-intercept, right? How you find the x-intercept? You press calculator. A, you press 1, B is you press 1, C, you get -12. And believe me, if you press like that, the calculator will give you two answer, -4 and 3. Then you know the x-intercept is this one, then you know D is the answer lah, right? Not B lah, because B they write -3 and 4. So this is wrong already. Okay, it should be -4 and 3. So you can also use this method to do. But the fastest way is to just look at the ABC and to hafal this one lah. Okay, but not all students hafal this one. But if you can remember this, you can answer very fast. Like you don't have to find the x-intercept also, you can do it fast. But if you don't want to hafal this, you can do also. Yeah, you can also know the answer by using calculator to press to find the x-intercept. Okay, and then you choose the one yang betul lah. Alright. So hope you understand. Now we go to 16. Okay, let's go to number 16. Diagram 11 shows a graph with loop and multiple edges. So there is loop, there's multiple edges. So this is not a simple graph, because simple graph means the graph cannot have loops, cannot have multiple edges. Okay, so now this says choose the correct information related to graph. NV means number of vertices. So number of vertices is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be 5. So A and B is wrong. NE stands for number of edges. Number of edges means bilangan sisi. So ada berapa edges? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These loops we count it one as one edges, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 edges. So D is wrong. The answer is C. Okay. So remember, loop we count it as one edges, but when we are counting a degree, we count it as 2 degree. Okay. So let's give an example here. It's point A. This one, let's say this is a loop, right? We count it as one loop, one edge, right? But dia adalah 2 degrees. Because what is degree? Degree means berapa line yang passes through, how many lines passes through that vertex. That's what we call degree. And we can only find degree at the vertices. So for example, I can only find degree at vertex A, vertex B, vertex C, and so on. So the degree of vertex A in this case will be 2, because got 1 line passes through A, 2 line passes through A, 1 going in, 1 going out, because it's a loop, right? So remember, when we are doing loop, we count it as 2 degrees, but it's actually just 1 edge. Okay, because yeah, 1 each. Okay, so that's why the answer is C lah. Then what about this? What about this one? This one tak payah tengok already, but I will explain it also. This is called sum of degree of all vertices. Okay, this symbol means sum. How to find the sum of all degree of vertex? Of course, you can do it slowly. If you do it slowly, is you find the degree of vertex P, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, because got four, how to say, 4 lines passes through P. And then what about degree of vertex Q? How many lines passes through Q? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And then degree of vertex R. Okay, I already said loop count as two degree. Yeah, 1 going in, 1 going out. So 1, 2, but there's one more, 3. Okay, and then degree of vertex S, which is 1, 2. Okay, 2 lines passing through Q. And then what about T? T no need lah, because the degree is 0. There's no line passes through T. And then you add all these number together. 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2. And believe me, you will get 12. Right? Do you get 12? 5 plus 3, 8. Yeah, you get 12. But there's another formula. If you want to find the sum of degree of all vertex, you straight away take 2 times number of edges. So straight away take 2 times number of edges is 6, right? So you will get 12. All right? And this works for all cases. So remember, when you want to find sum of degree of all vertices, we can do it slowly like this. Cari satu, and then tambah semua. But it's a bit slow, right? If you want to find sum of all degree of vertex, just straight away take 2 times number of edges. Straight away you will get this answer, and this answer will be the same. Okay? But I want students to learn how to calculate separately also, because sometimes in the exam they don't want you to calculate the sum of all degree. Maybe they just want you to find satu saja. If you want to find the degree of satu vertex saja, then you cannot use the 2 times NE formula. Because if you want to calculate separately, then you have to learn how to calculate separately for all vertex also lah. So it's important to know how to cari degree. Okay, so I think done already. Yeah, this is how you do it. Okay, number 17. Nor has 18,000 in her saving account. She withdraw 1,600 per month for n months. Determine the inequalities that represents the value of n if Nor needs to have at least 2,000 balance in a bank account. What does it mean by at least? At least means sekurang-kurangnya. Minimum. At least means minimum. So if I said minimum need to have 2,000 in her account, it means your bank it has to be bigger sama dengan lah. At least means paling kurang. It means tak boleh kurang daripada 2,000. Means dia kena besar, bigger or equal 2,000. This is the symbol for bigger sama dengan. Now we have to write our inequality. So she has 18,000. Okay, that is the original amount in her savings account. But he will take out 1,600 every month. And he didn't just take out for 1 month, he take out for several months. Okay, they said n months, right? So I have to minus with 1,600 minus with 1,600 minus banyak kali lah. Tapi minus berapa kali? N kali lah. Sebab saya I take out for n months, right? So kali dengan n, so darab dengan n macam tu. Okay, after you calculate this, you will get the balance. Okay, if you take this one tolak dengan this, you will get the balance in the bank account. But they got mentioned that the balance need to have at least 2,000 balance in her account. So it means after I tolak dengan ni, it has to be bigger sama dengan 2,000. Okay, I repeat one more time. The total savings 18,000 minus with 1,600 every month, but at the end, the balance need to have at least 2,000. So that's why after I minus, it has to be still bigger sama dengan 2,000. That's what it means, right? But if you look at ABCD, tak ada jawapan, right? Okay, it's because the ABCD they already find n. Yeah, they terus cari n. So how to find cari n? Well, just do it ourselves lah. So negative 1600 n. This one is bigger sama dengan, and I can pindah this ke sana jadi 2,000 minus 18,000. So now we press negative 1600 n, and then bigger sama dengan, we press calculator, 2,000 minus 18,000. Okay, my calculator give me negative 16,000. Okay, but this is not the answer. I need to cari n, right? So what I do is I will take negative 16,000. This whole thing, apa hubungan dia? 16,000 apa hubungan? Times, right? Times jadi divide. So darab jadi bahagi. So bahagi 16,000. And if you press this, you will get potong, 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 potong 10. Okay, you'll get positive 10. Because negative divide negative is positive 10. But a lot of students will go and, okay, not a lot lah. Maybe some students, they will bullet D, but it's wrong. No, salah. The answer is not D. If the symbol here is bigger, the symbol here is bigger, the symbol is bigger, here you have to change to smaller. Can you tell me why I have to change to smaller? Because when you divide by a negative number, you have to terbalikkan this symbol. That is why the bigger here suddenly becomes smaller, because I divide by negative 1,600. That is why n has to be smaller sama dengan 10. So the correct answer is B. So remember, you have to flip this symbol, terbalikkan dia, when you divide by a negative value. Only when you divide negative, you have to terbalikkan macam tu. Okay? So that one kena tahulah. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, let's do number 18. Diagram 12 shows a shaded region defined by a system of linear inequality. So this one nothing important. I'll just skip it. Which of the following inequality represent the shaded region other than x bigger 0 and y bigger 0? Okay, there's two inequality, which is x bigger 0, y bigger 0, which is here and here. But we can ignore that. What they're asking you to find is this solid line and this dash line. Dash line means garisan yang putus-putus lah. So this is inequality question. So how will you do it? Okay, if I'm doing paper 2, I will do it really slow. If I'm doing paper 2, I have to look at the garisan, I have to cari dua point, I have to find the gradient, I have to find the y-intercept, I have to do y equal mx plus c, all those things. But if I'm doing paper 1, we can be smart about it. Let me show you how I will do it for you. So first thing first, I can straight away look at the answer. Yeah, I can straight away look at the answer and do it, right? So if you look at this, 2y x plus 12, y equals to, I know this is wrong. I know this is wrong already. And I know this is wrong already. Okay, let me tell you how I can, like, determine so fast. Okay, so let's talk about straight line. So straight line, dia ada dua jenis. Jenis pertama, we call it non-gradient line. And if it's non-gradient line, garisan dia akan jadi macam ni, horizontal ataupun vertical. And kalau dia punya garisan macam ni, dia hanya akan ada satu variable saja dalam equation dia. It will only have one variable. For example, this one, it will only have one variable y. It means that the equation will be y equals to something. Okay, and the number can be the number depends on where it passes through the y-axis lah. And then this one is x equals number. So as you can see, this type of line only have one variable, but there's another type of equation, the gradient line. So the gradient line, it will have two variables. It will have y and x, which means it will have y equals mx plus c. Okay, but the m and c, you will find it, right? So it will end up with two variables. So let me explain the gradient line. It will have gradient. What does it mean by have gradient? It means the line will be sangat macam ni or sangat macam ni. But do you know that if the line is going up like this, the gradient must be positive. But if the line is going down like this, the gradient will be negative. That is why I can know straight away the A and B is wrong. Because if you look at this, imagine you change this inequality to equal. Then it will become 2y equals x plus 12, right? But if you change this to linear form, if you change this to y equals mx plus c, you will get y equals to 1 over 2x, divide 2, 12 divided 2 is 6. And it doesn't make sense because look at these two lines. Both these two lines, their gradient must be negative. Because I told you already, if the line is going down like this, the gradient must be negative. And you look at both lines also will have a negative gradient. That's why it doesn't make sense for A to be the answer, because the gradient is positive, and both of the line, the gradient is negative. That's why this is wrong. Same with this one also. This one also, if you change to equal, it becomes y equals 2x plus 12. And it's just not possible because both these lines have a negative gradient. So A, I know wrong. B also wrong for the same reason, because you see, you change to equal also, yeah, you get the same result. Okay, because the gradient must be negative. So I'm just gonna erase this working. So the answer is either C or D, right? But you can be smart about it, right? You can be smart about it. Let me show you how I will do it. C and D, they are the same. Can you see? 12 minus 2yx, 12 minus 2yx, 12 minus y 2x. 12. The only thing different is the inequality symbol. Here they write bigger, here they write bigger sama dengan, here they write bigger sama dengan, here they write bigger. That's the only difference. So what I do now is, I will look at C, okay, and I will write down the equation. Okay, I don't even write C. I will just look at these two equations and just write it down. 12 minus 2y, and I will straight away change this to equal x. Yeah. Okay, I'll change to equal x. And then what I do now is, I will what I will do, I will change this to y equals mx plus c. All right. Do you know why? Because I want to change to mx plus c, and because I want to know this equation belongs to which line. Because there's two lines, right? Okay, of course, if it belongs to this line, then I have to write smaller sama dengan, because it's a solid line. But if this equation belongs to this line, then I have to write smaller already, because the shaded region is below, is how to say, is below both these two lines, right? So both lines also have to write smaller. Okay, but the problem now is I don't know this equation belongs to which line. I don't know whether this one is the dotted line or the solid line. So what I do is I will change to linear form. I will change to y equals mx plus c, and I will look at the c. If the c is 12, then it belongs to this line. But if the C is 6, then it belongs to this line. Okay, tak apa, I will show you. Later, I will show you, you will understand. So let's change to linear form. I want the Y to be single. I want the Y to be left alone here. So how to make the Y jadi single? Saya kena jadi Y equal mx plus C. So the X, I'll leave it here. 12 pindah jadi minus 12. And the whole thing have to divide negative 2. So X divide negative 2 is negative 1 over 2X. Negative 12 divided negative 2 is positive 6. So this is how the equation looks like when it's y equals mx plus c. And as you can see, the gradient is negative, but we don't care about it now. We want the y-intercept 6. So definitely, this 12 minus 2y equals x belongs to the dotted line, because the dotted line punya y-intercept is also 6. Understand, right? So this equation for dotted line is 12 minus 2y equals x. Okay? It means that this one, you have to write this one, because the shaded region is below here, right? It means that you have to write smaller. Okay, you have to write smaller here, and you don't have to write sama dengan, because it's dotted line. But wait. There's one more thing that you have to be careful here, because you have to make sure you tengok daripada y tau. It means you have to write smaller. You are right, but the smaller shouldn't be written here. The smaller should be written here. And if the smaller is written here, here will be bigger, here will be bigger. You know why? Because do you remember just now you divide everything by negative 2? And when you divide everything by negative number, this symbol will flip. That is why if here is smaller, here will be bigger, here will be bigger. So actually this one should be bigger. So the correct answer here is C. Okay? There will not have any line here, because this is a dotted line, right? How I know this equation belongs to the dotted line is because I changed to linear form. y equal mx plus c, and I compare the c with the C in the diagram. That is why I know this is the first time. And now I don't even have to do the second one already, because I know the second one will be correct already, because the second one must be the solid line. That's why they got put the garisan here. Okay. But I want to explain a bit about the smaller, bigger, because it might be confusing for some student. The reason why, okay, it's smaller, but why is it bigger? It's because I have to tengok daripada y lah. Because your y is negative now. All right. So when you take out the symbol, you have to take out from y, and you have to make sure the y is positive. So if your y is negative, what you have to do is you have to pindah here, so it becomes 12x. Uh, 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 okay, no need lah. Actually, you no need to pindah. You just okay. Okay. You just listen here. If the y is positive, then baru you boleh tengok daripada y. But what if your y is negative? Then you have to imagine the y is on the other side, and then tulis dekat situ. So this one you have to write smaller, right? But why I write bigger is because the y is negative. That's all. Because when you move it over here and you tengok dari sini, then only it becomes smaller if you write like this. Okay, that is why the answer is C lah. Okay, so remember, kena tengok daripada y and make sure y is positive. Okay, or you can just put it smaller here and then try to reverse it back like this. And when you reverse it, you will really get bigger lah. So I hope you understand. And I want to explain also why the second one is also bigger, even though it's like the kawasan lore is for the solid line, the kawasan lore is below the line. Why is it bigger still? It's the same reason. It's because the y is negative. Yeah, the y is negative. So at the end, you will become negative y bigger something than 2x plus 12 becomes minus 12, right? And when you divide everything by negative, you become like this, right? And guess what? This thing will change to smaller. So yeah, it's correct. It's smaller. Yeah. So remember, you have to take out the variable y and make sure y is positive. That's why you see it's smaller. Okay. But if I write smaller here, then it's wrong already. Because if I write smaller here, at the end you change to bigger, then yeah, salah already. Okay. So remember, when you divide by negative, you have to flip you have to terbalikkan the symbol. Just like question number 17. 17 also I explained the same thing, right? Okay, I hope you understand lah. This question is not that difficult actually, but you have to understand the concept. Okay. All right, let's go to number 19. Let's read the question first. Diagram 13 shows a trapezium. Okay, you need to know something about trapezium. Trapezium will always have two lines that are parallel. Yeah, it will always have two lines that are parallel. So TUVW drawn on a Cartesian plan. So you can tell already which two lines are parallel. Definitely not these two lines. Definitely not these two lines. Definitely is the UT line and the VW line. So these two lines will be parallel. And if they are parallel means what? It means they have the same gradient. So now they says determine the equation of straight line TU. So how do we find TU punya equation? Okay, when we find equation, we have to check whether this line is a gradient line or non-gradient line first. If it's non-gradient line, the line will be completely straight, like vertical or horizontal. If for this kind of line, they will have one variable only. But if you look at this line, it is a gradient line. It's a Senget punya line. Okay, do you remember my notes just now? I write here, you see? If it's gradient line, like Senget punya. And if for Senget punya line, it will have two variable, x and y. So this equation definitely akan ada x and ada y. Sebab dia Senget, right? So I have to write y equals mx plus c. And I have to find the m and I have to find the c. How to find the m? The m is the gradient, but I cannot find the gradient of tu. Okay, the formula for gradient is y2 minus y1 divide x2 minus x1. It means I need to have two coordinates. And then I have to take the y coordinate minus y coordinate, divide by x coordinate minus x coordinate. But the problem is I need two coordinates. And if you look at the UT garisan, I don't have two coordinates that I can use. So I need to pinjam the VW gradient. And why I can pinjam the VW gradient? Because they are parallel. It means that they have the same gradient. So gradient of TU same with gradient of VW, and I can find VW punya gradient instead, right? Because VW they got to give 2 points. So 0 minus 4, y minus y, divide x minus x, negative 1 minus 3. You will end up with 1. So the gradient of this line is 1, but the gradient of the atas punya line pun 1 juga sebab they are parallel. That's why they have the same gradient. So now you know your m already. Now you can put inside your equation. Y equals mx plus c. And the m is 1. So 1x. But the 1 tak ada orang tulis punya. So you can just leave it. And then plus c. Okay, c ada dua cara untuk cari c. C stands for y-intercept. So how can we find the y-intercept? Ada dua cara. Cara pertama is guna mata tengok. Cara kedua is passes through satu point. and then substitute the point inside the equation. So what does it mean by guna mata tengok? It means you use your eyes to look at the UT and tengok dia ada bagi tak y-intercept. So tell me now, where is the y-intercept of UT? Here, right? This is the point where the line touches the y-axis. So this is the C. And if you guna mata tengok, you tak tahu, you tak dapat C, and then because they never give us this point. So it means when I guna mata tengok, I tak dapat. So I have to go with the second method, which means I have to use this method, passes through satu point and then ganti dalam sini. So instead of writing y equals x plus the y-intercept, I will just write y equals x plus c, and then I will straight away write pt. Pt stands for passes through, and then I will just choose any point that passes through and then write it here. So you can see ut got passes through 1, 7, right? It means I can substitute the x1, y7 inside this x and this y. And when I substitute the xy inside here, I can find my c. Okay, so y is 7, x is 1, and then c is here. So now how to find my c? 7 minus 1, which is 6. So the final answer is y equals x plus 6. So this is your answer. So let's look at A, B, C, D. Which one match with my answer? I think it's C, right? Yeah, because y minus x plus 6, when you move the negative x over there, it becomes positive x plus 6, which is the same as my answer. So C is the answer. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, number 20. Wait, this is very surprising, because number 20 is also related to 19, and then 19 is also related to 18. Yeah, 18, 19, 20, they are all related because we all talk about straight line, right? So I will tell you about 20 now. Okay, let's go. Which of the following diagram 1, 2, 3, 4 represent graphically a linear equation in two variable? I just explain it. I baru saja explain yang ni. Let's go back to my notes. Where is my notes? Here, right? I explained it's question number 18. Straight line, we have a non-gradient, we have a gradient. But I already said if it's non-gradient line, the line will either look like this, like completely flat, horizontal, ataupun vertical. And for this type of line, it will only have one variable. It's either y equals to something or x equals something. Dia hanya ada satu variable saja. But for gradient line, line yang sengit macam ni, line yang sengit, dia akan ada two variable, right? It means, and the equation will look like this, y equals mx plus c. Of course, you will find the m and c lah. So it will have two variable, other y, other x. So let's go back to question number 20. Which of the following represents in two variable? It means the gradient line, which is 1 and 4. The answer is B. 2 and 3 is not a gradient line. It's a non-gradient line. Okay? Because for this type of equation, it will look like this. X equals to something. And for this one, it will be y equals something. And it will only have one variable. That's why this one is not correct. Okay? I remember this question got come out in the Selangor paper also. I forget which question, but one of the question, it's like very similar to this one. Okay, they got give you this diagram also, and then they ask you this, like lebih kurang sama one in the Selangor paper. So yeah, it's not that difficult actually if you understand the whole concept. Okay, so just remember, if one variable, it's a straight line, it's like tak ada gradient punya, completely straight, tak ada sengit langsung. But if it's a two variable, it means it's a gradient line sengit. Okay, and how you know this one is x equals something, y equals something? Because this one dia potong x axis, so x equals something lah. This one dia potong y axis, that's why it's y equals something. Okay, I think that's good enough. Let's continue. 21. Simplify this whole thing. Okay, whenever they want you to simplify means you have to factorize everything. Okay, you have to factorize everything. So let's factorize. Apa yang boleh factorize? Saya factorize. So PT plus TU. Can I factorize? Yes, I can factorize out T. Okay, means I can take out T from both of them. So I'm left with P plus U here. Okay, and then what about 16T squared minus 1? Well, if I have A squared minus B squared, I can actually change to A minus B, A plus B. So what I will do here is the 16, I will change to 4 square, and then T square, sudah ada square, I'll leave it, and then 1 is just 1 square, because 1 square is 1, right? And the reason why I write like this is because I know that the 4 square T square minus 1 can be written like this, 4T square minus 1 square. And can you see, you can apply this formula? A square minus B square, you see? 4T square, minus, so it becomes 4T minus 1, 4T plus 1 later. All right, so now it will end up with T, P plus U over 4T minus 1, 4T plus 1. But of course, I only finish factorizing here. I have to buat yang belakang juga. So divide, saya boleh tukar jadi times. But tapi bila saya tukar jadi times, this thing will flip upside down. So 16T square minus 16T plus 3, I have to tulis atas. And then bawah saya kena tulis P square minus U square. Oh, I can use the formula again. P square minus U square. If I have A square minus B square, I can write A minus B, A plus B. So if it's P square minus U square, I can write P minus U, P plus U. Right? And then what about yang atas ni? Yang ni 16t square minus 16t plus 3. Well, you can factorize this as well, but you will use the calculator method to factorize. How you factorize? You just masukkan, can you see it's already general form? So you just masuk dalam calculator and then press the A, B, and C inside the calculator. So let's press. I hope you know how to press. So what is the A? 16. What is the B? Negative 16. What is the C? Positive 3. So my calculator give me 3 over 4 and 1 over 4. So this is how the working will look like. 16t squared minus 16t plus 3. And when you press calculator, they give you how much? 3 over 4. So the first answer is 3 over 4. And then the second answer is 1 over 4. But don't write x, write t here because it's the variable here is t. And then for the atas punya bracket, what you have to write? It would be 4t. 4 have to write in front, and then the plus 3 become minus 3. Same with here. The 4 drop bawah means bahagi, you have to darab, jadi 4t plus 1 jadi minus 1 like this. Okay, so but when we write in here, when we factorize, we will not write this one. We will only write this, the bracket one. So I will only write the bracket 4t minus 3 and then the bracket 4t minus 1 here. Okay, and now we can cut, we can potong. So the p plus u and the p plus u can potong, the 4t plus 1 and the 40 minus 1 and the 40 minus 1 can potong. Okay, let me tell you why can potong like this. It's because when we have fraction multiply with fraction, we will take atas darab atas, bawah darab bawah. So kalau atas darab atas, bawah darab bawah means, and we all know atas dengan bawah boleh potong. That is why I can potong this one with this one, because eventually atas boleh darab dengan atas and then you can potong atas bawah lah. Same here, 40 minus 1 atas bawah also you can potong. So you left with t times 40 minus 3. You can straight away look at A, B, C, D. Yang mana yang atas tulis t times 40 minus 3. C confirm wrong already. A confirm wrong already. Okay, what is this? 4t squared minus 3 squared. 3t. This one is 4t squared plus 3t. Well, we all know the answer is B already. Why? Because if you take atas darab atas, it will be t times 40 minus 3, which is 4t. T times 4t is 4t squared. And then t times negative 3 is negative 3t. So that's why this is the answer, 4t squared minus 3t. Okay, so B is the answer, so D is wrong. And if you look at yang bawah punya pun sama, 40 plus 1 times P minus U, you see? Atas darab atas, bawah darab bawah, right? So T times 40 minus 3, I get 40 squared minus 3t. And then yang bawah is just 40 plus 1 times P minus U. D cannot, because D, they write P plus U. Where got P plus U here? Salah already. Okay, the P plus U I cut already. Okay, so the correct answer is B lah. And I don't think you have to expand this, like no need. You are doing objective. Okay, you're doing objective, so be smart about it. Straight away, just look at the answer and then just circle it when you see the answer. No need to write full working for them. Okay, you are doing paper 1. Okay, let's go to number 22. Let's read the question. Asman bought 8 chocolate cakes at the price of RMY each. So one chocolate cake is RMY, but he bought 8. 4 slices of strawberry cakes at the price of 16 ringgit. So another 4 strawberry cake, total up is 16 ringgit. And then 4 tiramisu at the price of RM4Y each. Express the total price of cakes in the terms of Y. So what is the total price? So how much he pay for the chocolate cakes? 8Y. Okay, why 8Y? Because Y ringgit is for 1, but he bought 8, so 8Y lah. And then plus with another 16 ringgit, but you have to be careful. This 16 ringgit, they already total up. Okay, because he buy 4 strawberry, right? But some student, they might go and take 4 times 16. Salah. You read carefully. This 16 is not for each strawberry cake. It's for the 4 strawberry already. So you don't have to times 4 already. So the 16 is like dia sudah darab untuk you. So this one siap already. And then plus with 4 tiramisu. But the tiramisu price is 4Y for 1 tiramisu. So the 4Y have to times 4 lah. Because he buy 4 tiramisu. And then if you do all this, you will get the answer. So you will get 8Y. 4 times 4 is 16Y. 16Y plus 8Y is just 24Y plus 16. So the answer is C. Okay, so that's the answer. This one I think is very simple. So nothing complicated here. Okay, 23. Diagram 14 shows a rectangle PQRS. Okay, I can see it. Given U is a midpoint of QR, U is midpoint, so this must be 4 cm, 4 cm, because rectangle opposite side will be sama panjang. So if this is 8, this is also 8, and since U is midpoint, potong is 4. And I know this is 3. Okay, because Pythagoras theorem I have already, but I will not write it first. Let's see what they want. Calculate area of unshaded region. It means I want this, the unshaded region. Okay, we cannot find the area of unshaded region directly because this is a very weird shape. So we didn't learn how to find the area of this shape. But what we can do is find the area of whole thing, the area of rectangle, minus with 2 triangle. Okay, and when we find area of rectangle, it's very easy. We just take 8 times 12, right? 8 times 12. That's how you find area of rectangle. But this is not the answer, of course, because when you take 8 times 12, you are finding the area of the whole thing. You have to minus with 2 triangle. The first triangle is this triangle. This another triangle is this one. And guess what? Since this is a rectangle, they must be 90 degree. Okay, and if it's a 90-degree triangle, we can use this formula 1/2 times base times height. Okay, which one will be the base and height for this triangle? Okay, if the triangle is a right angle triangle, yang ada 90 degree, the base and height will be the two lines that form the 90 degree. And in this case, it's 4 and 12. Right? So the base will be 12, the height will be 4. And then another triangle, also same formula, 1/2 times base times height. But you don't go and tell me 1/2 times 4 times 5. Salah. If the triangle got 90 degree, you have to take the base height has to be the two lines forming the 90 degree, which is this line and this line, right? So now I need to find the TQ panjang first lah, but I already mentioned it's 3, right? Okay, let me show you why is it 3, because of the Pythagoras theorem. So this is a right angle triangle, we can use Pythagoras theorem, bracket square, bracket square. But you will plus or you will minus. You have to minus. Okay, you have to take the paling panjang punya 5 square minus 4 square, right? Why minus? Because you are not finding the longest side. The longest side in the right angle triangle is the hypotenuse, the one yang depan 90 degree. And if you're not finding the hypotenuse, you will not plus, you will minus. So this one is not the hypotenuse, that's why minus. And it has to be 5 square minus 4 square. Dia tak boleh 4 square minus 5 square. So 5 square is 25 minus 16 is square root 9, which is 3. That's why I said in the beginning this is 3. And now you can find the formula for triangle, 1/2 times base times height. So 1/2 times 3 times 4. Remember, when we are finding area of triangle, the formula, if you use 1/2 times base times height, the base and the height has to be perpendicular to each other. Means they have to form a 90 degree. Okay, the base and height has to form a 90 degree. So the 3 and 4 is the answer. So you just press all this in the calculator and you will get the answer. Okay, I'm just gonna press the whole thing. How to say? Because I'm doing paper 1. So we don't care about the working. We just want to get our answer as quickly as possible lah. So I will not write the full working. I'm just gonna press, and then get the answer. Okay. Let me press. Okay, my calculator give me 66. After I press all this thing, I get 60. But make sure when you press, put the bracket and everything lah. If you don't letak bracket, then later you might get the wrong answer. So yeah, that's the answer. Okay, and we are doing paper 1. Paper 1, the working is not important. So you don't have to write the full working actually. Okay. Okay, let's go number 24. Diagram 15 shows a box plot that represents set of data. Okay, there is something we need to know about box plot. So the box plot looks like this, and we need to know that this and this is the minimum value and the maximum value, right? Box plot is like when you form a box plot, you need 5 information. You need minimum value, maximum value, okay? And then these 3 lines will tell you the Q1, the Q2, this line is the middle one is Q2, and then this one is Q3. All right. It means if you want to construct a box plot, you need to find out these 5 information first. Then only you can confirm. Then only you can find the. Then only you can draw the box plot. Okay. Okay. Now they says given the range and the interquartile range is 22590. Calculate the value of P. Range formula is taking the maximum value minus minimum value. So 7Q minus 3P equals 225 because they say the range is 225. And then interquartile range formula is Q3 minus Q1. And they say the interquartile range is 90, right? So what is the Q3 and the Q1? 6Q minus 4Q, right? And now I end up here. Okay, this equation I cannot do first. You know why? Because it has 2 different variable, P and Q. So I cannot find P, I cannot find Q. But I can start with this equation because this equation only have 1 variable, which is Q. So 6Q minus 4Q, saya boleh jadi 2Q equals 90, and then Q equals to 45. Okay, 90 bahagi 2, 45. And now only I will put the Q inside here. Because just now I don't know what's my Q, but now I know already it's 45. So now I can substitute inside here and then write like this and then find P lah. Okay, how to find P? We will press 7 times 45 first and see what I get in my calculator. 7 times 45, my calculator give me 315. So I can straight away erase this and write 315. And then how to find P? Well, you can pindah lah. So how to pindah? The negative 3P, I'll leave it here, and then 315, I'll move it over there, become minus. So I will press 225 minus 315. So my calculator give me negative 90. And for the final step, to find P, I have to divide bahagi. So it will be negative 90 bahagi negative 3. Okay, because this one negative 3 and P dia darab kan, darab jadi bahagi. So when you press this, you will get 30. So the answer is C. Okay, the negative will hilang because when you take negative bahagi negative, you get positive. That is why the answer is positive 30. Okay, number 25. I think this is a property assessment text question. Let's read the question. Juan Maria owns a service apartment in Bayan Lepas. The rental of the apartment is estimated at 1,000 ringgit per month, and she paid 322 ringgit each half year for property assessment tax. Calculate the property assessment tax rate for the service apartment. Okay, let's talk about the property assessment tax formula for 1 year. So what is the formula? The formula is taking the annual value, okay, annual value times with the property assessment tax rate, and it's usually in percentage. The rate will usually give, they will usually give in percentage, right? So this is the formula that we will use to do this question. But there's something we need to know here. Annual value, sometimes the soalan, if they want to make it susah sikit, they will not give you annual value, they will give you monthly rent. But you need to know that annual value actually come from monthly rent times with 12. Yeah, like that. So sometimes to make it susah, they don't give you the annual value terus. They give you monthly rent. But don't worry, you can just times 12 to get the annual value. And then baru guna formula ni lah. Okay. All right. Let's read one more time. What is 1,200? The rental of the apartment per month. So definitely the annual value will be 1,200 times 12, right? Because this is the monthly rent. So to get the annual value, it has to times 12. And then what about the 322? 322 is the half year property assessment tax. So the 322 I have to write here. But guess what? I have to times 2 because this formula, we use it to calculate for 1 year. That is why the property assessment for 1 year will be 322 times 2, right? And then they say calculate the property assessment tax rate. Okay, this one I will just call it X. Okay. Okay, I will not write times lah. I will just use bracket. Yeah, like this. Okay, but I know it's times lah. Right? If there's nothing in between means times. So now if I want to calculate the tax rate, I'll just find X lah. Okay, how to find X? Okay, very easy. You just press 322 times 2 and then divide 1,200, divide 12. Divide 1,200, divide 12. And then straight away you get the answer already. Okay, my calculator give me 0.0. Okay, usually I write 4 significant figures, so 4472. But I already mentioned, right, usually it's in percentage. That's why you look at A, B, C, D, dia tak ada jawapan. It's because you have to convert to percentage. How to convert to percentage? Okay, 1.12% is the same as 0.0112 because 1.12% means 1.12 divided by 100. And if you press 1.12 divided by 100, you will get, it means you are just moving the decimal point ke depan 2 kali. That's why it's 0.0112. And this one, same, you can convert to decimal is 0.0224. This one, when you convert, is 0.0373. Yep. And then this one is 0.0447. So I think the answer is D lah. Okay. It means that if you want to convert decimal to percentage, you have to times 100 actually. So it becomes 4.472%. So the answer here is D lah. Is D. You understand, right? So I repeat one more time. If you want to convert decimal to percentage, you darab 100. But if you want to convert percentage to decimal, you bahagi 100. Okay? So yeah, that's all. Okay, number 26. A basket has 7 chickens, so 7. The mean okay, I think I know which chapter already. The moment I see the word mean, I know it's measures of dispersion. And I will straight away label the 7 as N. Okay, because N is like represent berapa orang. Okay, in this case, it's berapa ayam lah, but the N is 7. And then the mean is 1.6. The symbol for mean is this. Okay, X bar 1.6, right? A chicken with a mass 1.92 kg is added into the basket. Calculate the new mean mass in kg of a chicken. All right, let me tell you how I'll do it. I will to calculate the new mean, First, I have to take 1.6 times 7 and then plus with 1.92 and then divide 8. This is the answer, right? But if I explain like this, mesti some of you will say like, eh, sir, what? I tak faham lah. Kenapa? Kenapa buat macam ni? Okay, okay, I explain to you. The formula for mean is take the data all add together, divide by n. This is the formula for mean. Okay, okay, what is this symbol? This symbol means the sum, the total. And then what is x? X is the data. And in this case, the data is mass, right? So it means in this case, you will take all the mass of chicken add together, bahagi dengan n, which means, but the mean I already have it is 1.6. And then the n also I have it already is 7. So I can actually find the sum of mass of 7 chicken, right? And why I have to take the 1.6 times 7 here is because I add another chicken, 1.92 kg. It means my total X is no longer the same. You understand, right? Because I add another chicken now. If I add another chicken, my total mass changed already, right? So what I do is I find the total mass for 7 chicken first. And how I do that is by using this formula. I take 1.6 times 7. So that's why here I write 1.6 times 7. And the reason why I take 1.6 times 7 is to find the total mass of 7 chicken. And then after I get the total mass of 7 chicken, I plus with the 1.92 because I add a new chicken, right? And then I divide 8 because when I tambah satu chicken, there will be 8 chicken inside already. So the mean have to divide 8 already. So you understand now, right? Why I write like this. So now you just press calculator. 1.6 times 7 plus 1.92 and then equal dulu baru divide 8. So my calculator give me 1.64, so the answer is A. Okay, so yeah, that's how I would do it. Okay, number 27. This looks like a locus question. So let's go. Diagram 16 shows us. Okay lah, I don't even want to read it. I'll just tell you the notes first. So where should I write the notes? Okay, I'll just do it here. So we have the first type of locus where they will give you 1 point. Let's call it point A. And the keyword here is if it's they will say from A. Okay, from A. And if they say from A, what you do is you just draw a circle. Okay, but how big is the circle? Okay, don't worry, the soalan will tell you. Okay, the soalan will tell you how big you have to open the compass, right? Second type of locus is they will give you 2 points. Let's call it point A, point B. And the soalan will mention this from A and B. And if they mention like this, got 2 points, you will cut it in half, cut it in the middle. Okay, just potong half. Okay, type 3 is when they will give you satu line. Satu line. Okay, satu line. So like this, A, B. And the keyword here is from A, B. Can you see the difference? This one is from A and B. Okay, 2 points. This one is from A, B. If from A, B means satu line. And if it's satu line, you have to draw 2 lines. Okay, satu atas, satu bawah. But don't worry about the distance because the distance here, they will tell you, for example, like 2 cm. And 2 cm means then you measure 2 cm, lukis atas, measure 2 cm, lukis bawah, macam tu lah. Okay, type number 4, punya locus is, they will give you dual line instead. So if they give you 2 lines, let's call this A, B, C, D. And then the keyword here is from A, B and C, D. From A, B and C, D. And what you do, you will cut it in the middle. Okay, so type number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then type number 5. Type number 5 also, they will give you 2 lines, but the 2 lines look like this, like a V shape. So I will call this A, B, C. And the soalan will mention this from A, B, and B, C. From A, B, and B, C. So just now, for type number 4 is they give you 2 lines, but the 2 lines is parallel. So if parallel means you cut it in middle, right? But now these 2 lines, yang dia bagi is not parallel, but you will also cut it in middle, but the middle will be here lah. And you will use compass to find it, to find this line. What you do is you cucuk the compass yang tajam punya, you cucuk here, lukis atas, lukis bawah, and then cucuk atas, cucuk bawah, lukis bawah, and then garis. Okay. Then the line is exactly in the middle already. Okay, so this is type number 5. And for type number 6, punya locus is they will give you, like, let's say I draw a square here, right? Let's say I draw a square here. So let's call this A, B, C, D. And let's say this says XA equals AB. All right. So this is the giveaway. This is the how to say, the keyword. Yeah. So when you see this one, and then you see the diagram ABCD, you have to straight away look at this equation and see which one does not exist in the diagram. Which one tak ada dalam diagram? So dalam diagram ada A, B, C, D. And in the equation here, siapa yang tak ada? X yang tak ada dalam diagram. Betul? A and B have ada dalam diagram, X yang tak ada. So the one yang tak ada, I have to ignore it. I have to cut. I have to potong and then jangan tengok yang tu. Because you know why X tak ada dalam diagram? Because X is the one that I need to draw. X is the one yang saya kena lukis sendiri. That is why it's not in the diagram. X is the locus lah. I mean, X is the locus. So X is the movement or the locus. So that's the one I need to draw. So I will only focus on yang ini. So when you nampak ini A equals AB, the X I cut already because it's the locus. And then I will just look at siapa yang repeat sini. So siapa yang repeat? A yang repeat kan? So the one that repeats, that is the center of circle. Okay. Then what about AB? AB is the radius. So what you have to do is you have to draw a circle, but the center will be A and the radius will be AB. So what you do is you use compass, you cucuk dekat A, and you open your compass until B and draw a circle. But of course, the full circle is like this, but you don't have to draw the full. You only have to draw uh, dalam kotak ni saja. Okay, tak payah buat sampai outside. Okay. Alright, after explaining all the types of locus, now we try to do this question. So diagram 16 shows a square PQRS with side 4 cm. So all the side is 4 cm, 4 cm, 4 cm, 4 cm. And 3 quadrants of a circle with center PQR. So P quadrant circle, I think is this one. And then Q is this one. And then R is this one. Yeah. Okay, so okay. Quadrant means 90 degree. Point X and Y are 2 points that move in a square. It means X and Y is the locus. X and Y is the one I need to draw myself later. That is why you don't see the XY inside the diagram. Okay, because X and Y locus. And the side is 4 cm. So I think I have to label here 4 cm, but it's for the whole panjang. Okay, and here also 4 cm. Here also 4 cm. Here also 4 cm. Okay, now let's see dekat bawah dia kata apa? The locus of point X always move such that Rx equals XQ. Okay, some student might tell me like, sir, this one is type number 6, right? Because they got give you something like this. Rx just look like this. No, 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 no. This is not type number 6. This is actually type number 2 punya locus. Because I already mentioned, if you know the point does not exist in the diagram, you have to potong the point. You cannot look at the point. So for example, R, X, and Q, which one tak ada dalam diagram? X yang tak ada, because X is the locus. So you have to potong-potong. So what's left here is R and Q. It means dia adalah dua point. So if dia ada dua point, the keyword here is 2 points. It means what you have to do, go to R and go to Q, and then cut it in, potong in the middle. So this one is R, this one is Q. So if I potong in the middle, it will be this line, right? So if I draw it using a red color line, this is your locus X. Okay, so I'm just gonna label this. This is the locus X. Okay, so actually it's not type number 6, because if it's type number 6, you have to draw a circle. So this is the locus X. Okay, let's keep reading. What about locus Y? Locus Y move always less than 2 cm from line QR. So move 2 cm from line QR. So can you tell me type number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which one? From QR, 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 from line QR, from satu line. Isn't this type number 3, where you have to draw 2 lines atas dengan bawah? But it's not always atas bawah lah, depending on like where's the original line. So for example, this one is QR. So QR is referring to the straight line like this. So if the straight line is like this, means I have to draw kiri kanan lah. You faham tak? Because if the line is like this, then you draw atas bawah. But if the line is like this, then you draw kiri kanan. And just now when I mentioned the type number 3, I said don't worry about the distance, because the distance, the soalan will tell you berapa, how much is the gap here. Like berapa yang you kena, berapa cm, right? And they actually mention here, they say less than 2 cm, which is like, might be confusing for some student, right? Because they never give you the actual length. They just say less than 2 cm. But where do you think is less than 2 cm? Well, this line will cut the square in half. So definitely, this is 2 cm. From here to here is 2 cm. From here is 2 cm. And since, okay, let's use blue color line. So since your original line is QR, right? Because I already know it's from QR. So the locus here is I have to draw satu kiri, satu kanan. Tapi berapa gap dia? Should I draw it like very further away, like maybe like here and here, ke saya kena buat dekat like sini. Okay, don't forget they say less than 2 cm, right? So remember this from here to here is 2 cm, right? From here to here is 2 cm. So if I say less than 2 cm means your line cannot be here. Do you agree? It cannot be here. All right. It has to be less than 2 cm. So it's either here, 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 here. You understand lah? It means all these are possible position. Okay. But of course, on the other side also the same. Yeah, on the other side also. But why I never draw it on the other side? It's because on the other side there's no. It's already like you only draw it in the diagram lah. You don't have to draw outside the diagram because on the other side, tak ada, right? So actually, the answer is C lah. Okay, the answer is C because they ask you to find which of the following is the intersection of locus X and Y. It means I have to look at the red color line and the blue color line intersect punya. But and I already said the blue color line must be less than 2 cm, so it must be here, 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 right? Somewhere like this. But it can also apply the same on the other side. But I never draw the other side because it's already outside the diagram. So which one is the intersection of the red color and the blue color line? C lah. Why cannot B and D? Because B dia boleh jadi blue color line, but the red color line will never intersect B because the red color line is horizontal like this. So definitely B cannot be the answer. D also cannot be the intersection. So C is actually makes sense because C other passes through the red color line and also is less than 2 cm from QR. Okay, that is why the intersection here is C. Okay, I spent a lot of time explaining this, all right, but yeah, it's like very simple question one. I explain using a long time to explain, but when you understand this, you can do it like in like a few seconds. You can know the answer straight away. Okay. Hope you understand huh? All right, let's go to number 28. I think this is a graph of motion question. Let's read. Diagram 17 shows the distance time graph. Okay, the moment you see distance time graph, you have to know that you can use the gradient to find speed. Okay, you can use the gradient to find speed. If it's speed time graph, what if it's a speed time graph? If it's a speed time graph, you can use the gradient to find acceleration and use the area under graph to find distance. Itu kalau speed time graph. Okay, tapi yang ini distance time, so you can use the gradient to find speed. Okay, let's see what they want. Distance time graph for the movement applicable for a period of 19 second. Okay, so 19 second boleh. Lepas tu dia kata, given that the speed of particle for last 6 second is 0.9. It means that the gradient is 0.9 lah. Kenapa saya cakap macam tu? Because we can use gradient to find speed in the distance time graph. So if this is a distance time graph, you will use gradient to find speed. So if they say speed is 0.9, means gradient is 0.9. But there are so many lines here. There's 3 lines here. Which line I should find? They all have different gradients. So which line is this referring to? Last 6 seconds. Last 6 seconds. So obviously 19 minus 6 is 13, right? So this is the point that they are talking about. So this gradient is, the gradient of this line is 0.9. So I have to take y minus y, x minus x, which means I will take the difference in y, k minus 2, divide x minus x, 19 minus 13, right? Equals to 0.9. And since the line is going up, so the gradient is positive. Okay, but if the line going down, the gradient will be negative. Okay, so it will be k minus 2 equals to 0.9 times 16. 16? No, I don't think it's 16. It's 6. So 0.9 times 6. So my calculator give me 5.4, but you have to plus 2, right? Because minus 2 jadi plus 2. So I think you get 7.4. But what is the unit of this thing? Okay, K is the distance in meter. So definitely this is meter. So this one is 7.4 meter. And one more thing, always check the unit when you do this question. Can you see this 0.9 is meter ms minus 1? Means meter per second. And kebetulan the y-axis also meter. The x-axis is second. So that's why when you find gradient, when you take y bahagi x, it will be m bahagi s, which is ms minus 1, right? The reason why you have to check this unit is because sometimes you might need to convert the time to maybe they give you minute or maybe they give you hour. Then maybe you have to convert to second first or something like that, right? Or maybe this one is in kilometer. Okay, and then this one they want in hours. So you might so be careful lah. But this one correct already. The answer is 7.4. So ada jawapan? Yes, ada jawapan. The answer is C. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, let's go to question 29. This question is a little bit susah. It's a little bit challenging. Okay. So, tak apa, kita buat sama-sama. Diagram 18 shows the arrangement of a picture on the cards, which are each square shape. It means this is a picture, okay? And the outside one, the big one, is a card. And he want to put the picture on the card, right? And they are each square shaped. It means they are both square shaped, okay? So now I will read yang bawah. Given a distance J, the area not covered by the picture varies inversely with the square root of area L of a picture. And then if the area of picture is 196 cm square, then the distance of area not covered is 6 cm. Nasrin wants to arrange another picture in the middle of the card. Calculate area of image if the distance both sides that not covered image are 2 cm. Okay, I know it's very confusing. So let's do one by one. First of all, this is a variation question because you see the word varies inversely. So let's write down the variation first. So uh, J is the distance from here to here, huh? Okay, which is the part that is not covered by the picture. Yeah, this one is not covered, right? Varies inversely. So varies inversely, it means I have to put a line here with the square root of area L of the picture. So square root L, I have to tulis bawah, and then atas nothing means satu. This is what it means by varies inversely. But we have to be very careful here. We have to make sure what the J represents, what the L represents. Kita kena tahu sangat clear. So J represents what? They write area not covered, but it's actually not area. It's actually the horizontal distance. Okay. Okay, but I will write the word area lah. But this area is actually referring to the distance that is not covered. So I'm just gonna write area not covered. But let me tell you, it will be in cm. It will not be in cm square because um yeah, if you look at the diagram, they already mentioned J is the panjang here. So it's like it's just in C, it's just the length only. It's not the area. It's not the area of the whole thing. It's just that the horizontal distance. Okay. So yeah, okay. That is why uh in the Bahasa Melayu version, they never use the word luas here. They use kawasan yang tidak ditutup. So J is not a luas. It shouldn't be in cm square. It's just the kawasan, which means is the horizontal distance from the from the picture to the side of the card. Okay, it means yang tak covered punya lah, the not covered punya. Okay, what about L? L represents what? Area of picture. This one is area of picture. Okay, why is it important to write like this? Because later I have to tambah K and then cari K, right? And if I don't know what J and L represents, I might terbalik letak the information and then I get the wrong answer. That's why it's very important to write like this, so we know what the J, L represents. Now they say the area of picture is 196. So that one, the 196, I cannot put in the J, I have to put in the L, right? And then the distance of area not covered is 6. So I think I can find the K already because variation, this symbol you can change to equal, but we need to tambah K, right? And it will be K darab dengan 1 over square root L. Okay, and we all know when we darab atas sahaja, so it will be K over square root L. And now we can find the K straight away. But we have to ganti the 196 inside the L, so it'll be square root 196 here. So remember 196 is the area of picture, So yang tu letak dekat L. And then what about the distance of area not covered? So it's the J lah. J is 6 cm, right? So I repeat one more time. J is actually the distance of the area not covered, and it's the horizontal distance. Okay, so it's 6. So what is square root 196? If you press calculator, you get 14. So K equals to what? 6 times 14 lah. Okay, wait. So it will be 6 times 14. So if you press this, you will get the answer. My calculator give me 84. So since my K is 84, now I can rewrite the equation. Okay, I can tengok balik here and then rewrite it here. So J equals to K over square root L. K is 84, right? So 84 over square root L. But I don't think this is what the question wants you to find. The questions ask you, the question still got asked you to find something else. They says Nasri wants to arrange another picture. So it's like another picture. So this picture is the old picture. Now I want to arrange another new picture in the middle of the card. So this time I arrange in the middle. So let me just draw it. So this is the card. But this time I will arrange another picture. And of course it's not the same size. All right. And I will arrange in the middle. Right? In the middle of the card. And then they says calculate the area. Calculate the area of image. It means nak cari J or nak cari L? Area of image. Area of image. I think nak cari L lah, right? So image means talking about the picture, right? if the distance both sides that not covered by image are 2 cm. Okay, if they want to find area of picture, which is if they want me to find area of it means if they want to find L, they need to give me J. They need to give me J. If they don't give me J, I cannot find my L. And did they give me J? Yes. But it's not 2 cm. It's not 2 cm. Because this 2 cm is the distance both sides that not covered by the image. It means the distance both sides that not covered means the 2 cm is from here to here and here to here. Both sides not covered by image. Okay. So when I use this formula, I'm using this formula to find L later, right? Because I'm finding area of image, which is area of picture. So the square root L memang saya nak cari. And then the J, I need to have, right? But what is J represents? The horizontal distance of the area not covered by the picture. So the horizontal distance not covered will be 2 cm plus 2 cm, which is 4 cm. Because the J is not 2, the J is 4. Understand, right? Because I have, okay, imagine this one, I push this image to the side. What will happen if I push this image to the side? It means that the J will be 4 cm, right? Because here to here will become 4D. Because J is actually the horizontal distance from the picture to the side. So yeah, that's why the J is 4. Okay. Hope you understand why is it 4. Now I can find the L. First, I will pindah this one. Jadi atas jadi darab first. So it becomes 4 times with square root L equals to 84. And now if I want to find L, I will pindah the 4 to the other side. So it will be 84 divided by 4, which is 21. And now I can find my L. I just pindah the square root, becomes square. So now I'll just tekan 21 square, and then I'll know which one is the answer. So let me just press. Okay, my calculator gave me 441, and that is the answer. And of course, when we are doing this type of question, always check the unit. Yeah, because if sometimes to make the question harder, they will change the unit. Like let's say maybe they want in meter square or something like that, right? And do you know how to convert meter square to cm square? If 1 meter is 100 cm, but 1 meter square is how many cm square? It's not 100. If you write 100, salah. It's actually 10,000. Okay? Because 1 meter square is 1 meter times 1 meter, which means 100 cm times 100 cm. That's why it's 10,000. Okay? So yeah, but this question you don't need to do like that because everything is in cm, right? But sometimes you have to check also the unit because yeah, the question they like to how to say I do a lot of trial paper, so I'm familiar with those type of question where they will how to say want you to change the unit and so on, right? So yeah. Okay, we are at question number 30. Let's go. Table 1 shows the values of variables W, R, T, but I can see that ada satu value R dia tak bagi. Okay, given that W varies directly with R and inversely with square of T. So W varies directly with R means I have to tulis atas. So the R have to tulis atas. Inversely with square of T means have to tulis bawah. So T square like that. And then they says calculate value of X. Okay, when we are doing variation, we will always change this symbol to equal. But when you change to equal, we will write K times with R over T square. But we all know when we take K darab dengan R over T square, the K will darab atas. So if I malas, if I want to write fast, I can straight away tulis KR atas like this over T square. Right? It will be faster. And then now you straight away cari K lah. But if you want to find K, you need to have full information. What does it mean by full information? It means you need to have W, you need to have R, you need to have T. Tiga-tiga kena ada. You tak boleh ada dua saja. Tiga-tiga baru boleh ada, baru boleh cari K. If you hanya ada dua saja, then you cannot find K. So, ada bagi tak tiga-tiga value? Ada dekat table sini. W20, R30, T 0.75. You cannot ambil yang ni because if you ambil yang ni, it's not a complete information. So, W20 letak saja. R is 30, letak je. And then T is 0.75, letak saja. But make sure when you letak also, you be careful because you might, how to say, silap letak. Maybe the 20 you can put down here, then wrong here. So make sure you put at the correct places. W20, R30, T 0.75. Now I will press calculator. 20 equals K times with, okay, now I press 30 divide 0.75 square. So my calculator gives me 53.50. Now I use the answer button. I will certain 20 divide answer, but use the answer button. Okay, 20 divide answer. So my calculator actually give me 3 over 8. If you use the answer button, they will give you 3 over 8. And don't forget to rewrite this inside the equation. So now you will have your new equation. It will be W equals KR over T square. And the K is 3 over 8, right? Okay, tengok sini. Kalau saya kata K darab R over T, it means if the K is satu number, let's say the K is 2, right? The K is 2. it means you will darab atas, so it becomes 2r over t. But what if your k is a fraction, like for example 2 over 7? Then what you do is you take atas, darab bawah. So it'll be 2r over 7. Okay. Kalau dia number saja, you darab atas. Kalau fraction, you darab atas dengan atas, bawah dengan bawah. So if the k is 3 over 8, and you put it inside here, because the k, you can write it in the middle also, like this. Okay, originally it's in the middle. It's just that I tulis atas. But since now I know my k is fraction, so the k will be 3 over 8 here, right? So it will be atas dengan atas, bawah darab dengan bawah. So it will be 3r over 8t squared like this. Okay, this is how I write it. And now I can find my x value. Now I just gantikan with this information. W30 Rx T 1.25. So W I'll write 30 and then 3R, which is 3x over 8t squared, 1.25 squared like this. And now you just press calculator. So now I will press which one first? I will straight away press 30 times 8 times 1.25 squared, because everything here duduk bawah means bahagi. So pindah jadi darab. So let's tekan 30 times 8 and then times 1.25 squared. And then after you press everything, you get 375. And then the last step is just divide by 3 lah, because the 3 and x is times relation. So when you move it to the other side, it becomes divide 3. So the x is 125. So yeah, that is the answer. Okay, sudah siap. 31. Table 2 shows the total sales of watermelon in 10 weeks. In the first week, he sell 90 watermelon. In week number 2, 190. In week number 3, 200, and so on lah. Calculate the probability of the number of weeks the seller that can sell at least 200. What is at least? At least means bigger or equal. Because at least means sekurang-kurangnya. So it means like 200 ataupun lebih than 200 watermelon lah. Okay, if I want to find probability, the formula is this. PA equals to NA over NS. Right? And the A can represent whatever. And in this case, the probability, the A represents what? Sell at least 200 watermelon. Okay? It means atas saya kena tulis number of weeks with more than 200 watermelons, and then bawah I have to write 10 lah. Because bawah is the total weeks. Total week memang ada 10 weeks in total, but bukan semua minggu, bukan semua week yang dia sell more than 200. Only a few weeks saja. So yang mana yang dia sell at least 200, yang mana yang dia sell more than 200, at least 200. Yang ini kan. This one we kira juga because at least 200 means dia boleh bigger or equal. So it's like 200 or lebih. So 200 also count. Okay, week number 4 tak boleh. Week number 5 boleh sebab sudah lebih 200. Week number 6 boleh because it's more than 200. Week number 8 also more than 200. And the rest all cannot. So out of 10 weeks, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is 4 or 10. And then when you cut, you left 2 or 5. So the answer is B. Okay. Alright, so remember that's how you calculate probability. They want probability of number of weeks that the seller can sell at least 200 watermelon, right? Means you choose the number of weeks that he sell more than 200 and then divide with the total number of weeks 10 like that. Alright, so yeah, this is not that difficult. Yeah, it's quite simple. Okay, number 32, another probability question, but this one is like apa? Combined events one. So diagram 19 shows box P and box Q contain 4 cards labeled with numbers and 3 cards labeled with letters. So box P got 4 options, box Q got 3 options. So what is the total option here? If I take 1 card from P, 1 card from Q, there will be how many possibilities? There will be 12 possibilities. Because here got 4, here got 3, and then you will times together. In total, there will be 12 possibility. All the possibility. Okay, let's try to list down all the possibility. It's either I get 1R ataupun 1I, 1A, 3R, 3I, 3A, 7R, 7I, 7A, 12R, 12I, 12A. So those are the 12 possibilities that exist. So now they says a card is drawn at random from box P and box Q. So yeah lah, 12 possibilities. If I draw one here, yeah, it's 12 possibilities. Okay. Now they says calculate probability of getting a factor of 21 and a vowel. Okay, I will explain using 2 methods. The first method is you will straight away take the probability of factor of 21 times with the probability of vowel. Why times? Because n. If n means you will straight away darab. Okay. But this is later I'll explain using another method. Okay, what is the probability of factor of 21? Okay. In box P, there's 1, 3, 7, 12. Which one is factor of 21? 1, 3, and 7. 12 is not factor of 21. So the probability of getting factor of 21 is 3 over 4, right? And then you multiply with probability of vowel, and in box Q, which one is vowel? A and I. So the probability of getting vowel is 2 over 3, and then you times together, and then you get the answer. So 3, 3 cut, 2 and 4 cut, 1 over 2 is the answer. So A is the answer. Okay, but let me explain using another method. Another method I'll explain using table, All right. Do you remember at first I told you got 12 possibilities? So yeah, you can actually draw out the table. So you can write 1, 3, 7, 12 here. And then for the other row here, you can write R, I, A, right? And if you count, there's really 12 possibilities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? And all this quota, all this box, they represent one of the possibilities, one of the 12 possibilities, right? But you only choose yang factor of 21 and vowel. So factor of 21 and vowel. Apa maksud and? It means dia kena dua condition ni kena satisfy both condition, right? It has to be a factor of 21 and vowel both at the same time. Dia tak boleh salah satu. But kalau dia kata or, then ya salah satu boleh lah. It means vowel sahaja pun boleh terima. Okay, it means vowel tapi bukan factor of 21 boleh terima. But if they say and means dua-dua pun kena, they have to fulfill both condition. So let me ask you, this one boleh ke kena ambil ke tak boleh ambil? Tak boleh ambil. Kenapa? Because walaupun one is factor of 21, but it's not vowel because it's 1R. So this one cannot ambil. What about 3R, 7R, 12R? All these tak boleh ambil. Ya, tak boleh ambil, tak boleh ambil, tak boleh ambil, tak boleh ambil. Because I already mentioned, if they say and means dia kena ada factor of 21 and vowel both at the same time. Dia kena dua-dua ada. Dua-dua pun kena fulfill the both condition. So if R memang tak boleh ambil. What about one I? One I boleh ambil ke? One I boleh, because is factor, one is factor of 21 and I is also vowel. So yeah, N means dua-dua kena. What about 3I? Can also. Can also because yeah, it's 3 is factor of 21 and I is vowel. What about 7? Yes, can also, because 7 is factor of 21 and then I is vowel. But this one cannot because yeah, because 12 is not factor of 21. So even though it's vowel I, but it still cannot because it's not factor of 21. It has to be factor of 21 and vowel at the same time. What about AI A37? Yeah, can AI A37, but A12 cannot. 12A cannot because 12 is not factor of 21. So even though the A is vowel, it's still like that. So the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the answer will be 6 out of 12 because total is 12. So when you do like this also, you get 1/2. So you see the answer is same. Okay. So yeah, I'll explain using two method. So you can choose yang mana yang you rasa sesuai lah. But of course in exam, you just choose one method lah. You don't have to do two. Or maybe you can use the other method to check your answer. Okay. Okay, let's do 33. This is a matrix question. Given matrix M equals to 1/2 and then bracket this one. It means all these numbers should divide by 2. Okay. Okay, actually it's times with 1/2. Tapi times 1/2 means divide 2 lah. And then matrix N is equals to this one. And then it says calculate the value of Q if M equals to N. So M equals to N means what? It means matrix M and matrix N is the same matrix. It means you can compare them together. But before we compare, if I look at matrix N, there's no number in front here. So I have to make sure my matrix N tak ada number depan also. After I make sure tak ada depan tak ada number, then only I compare. So how to make my matrix, how to make the 1/2 disappear? I have to darab everything inside the bracket lah. So every number here I have to times with 1/2. Okay, darab 1/2 means bahagi 2. So 12 divided 2, 6. Negative 10 divided 2, negative 5. P divided 2, P/2. 4 divided 2, 2. So this thing, I can compare with this one because they are equal. They are the same. Why they are equal? Because the question say M equals N. So 6 I can compare with 6. 2 I can compare with 2. It means that P/2 is equals to 3, right? And also negative 5 is equals to P plus Q, right? P plus Q equals negative 5. So P will be 3 times 2, which is 6. And then I can put in the 6 here. Okay, because I already know P is 6. So 6 plus Q equals negative 5. Therefore, Q is negative 5 minus 6, which is negative 11. So the answer is B, boy. Okay. Okay, we are almost finished. 34. Given that this matrix darab with this matrix gives you this matrix, calculate the value of G and H. Okay, very easy. First thing first is if we want to do this one. Okay. If we want to, this negative 31, 39, I'll just leave it here. And then I will just take these two matrices and then darab together lah, and then right here, right? But we need to know that when we take two matrices and we want to darab them together, we have to write down the order, and we have to make sure the number in the middle here must sama, baru boleh darab. So for example, this one is how many row, how many column? What will be the order of this matrix? It will be 2 times 2, 2 row, 2 column. This one will be 2 times 1, 2 row, 1 column. And we have to make sure this number sama, baru boleh darab. If the number here and the number here is not the same, then these two matrices cannot multiply together. They cannot darab. So since they are the same already, it means they can darab. And then what's left here, yang depan belakang, this will be the final answer. It means my final answer will look like this, 2 times 1, which means satu number atas, satu number bawah. 2 row, 1 column like that, right? Now, how to get the atas punya number and how to darab to get the bawah punya number. So you have to remember, it always has to be horizontal times vertical. So if I have horizontal, I call it AB here. Here got CD. You must ada cara untuk darab dia. So cara betul untuk darab is take A times C, B times D. You wajib, you must do it like this. Alright. Some student they do it A times C, A times D. Salah, tak boleh. Dia mesti A times C, B times D. So let me ask you, when I take this matrix, darab dengan this matrix, boleh tak saya ambil macam ni, darab macam ni? Tak boleh. I already mentioned is horizontal times vertical. So it has to be like this. 1G darab dengan 4 negative 7. And it has to be 1 times 4 G times negative 7. Dia mesti macam ni. 1 times 4 and then G times negative 7. Okay. And then if nothing in between means plus. If there's nothing, we just put a plus there. Okay. So remember, it's horizontal and vertical. Okay. Now what you do is you repeat the same process, but you repeat with the H negative 3 and 4 negative 7. So this time it will be H times 4, negative 3 times negative 7. So it will be H times 4 and then negative 3 times negative 7. And if there's nothing in between, you write plus. But this one, they got minus already, so you don't have to do that. So now you can just solve this one. You will get 1 times 4 is 4. Negative 7 times G is minus 7G. Okay? And then H times 4 is 4H. Negative 3 times negative 7 is positive 21 equals to negative 31, 29. Now we can compare. How we compare? Atas sama dengan atas, bawah sama dengan bawah. So 4 minus 7G equals to negative 31. Now I can find the G. How to find? We can make the G single, but first we need to pindah the 4. Plus 4 jadi minus 4. What is negative 31 minus 4? Negative 35. And then my G will be negative 35. This one is times. Times become divide negative 7. So it'll be 5. So if the G is 5, I know C and D wrong already. But I still have to find H because I don't know which one is the answer. So just now I already compare atas dengan atas. Now bawah dengan bawah. So it'll be 4H plus 21 equals to 29. So let's try to find H. Pindah 21 jadi minus 29 minus 1 is 8. So H is 8 divided 4, which is 2. So the answer is, yeah, H is 2. So the answer is A. Okay, sudah siap. Alright, let's go with number 35. Diagram 20 shows two right angle triangle. I already mentioned this is the exam paling suka punya shape. Right angle triangle. What is right angle triangle? Segitiga bersudut tegak, which is segitiga yang ada 90 degree. Triangle yang ada 90 degree. So there's two PQS and PRS. So PQS is satu right angle. PRS is another right angle. So got two right angle. And then it says PQRT is a straight line. Okay. So the total angle here is 180. The total angle is 180 because it's a straight line. So far, nothing to label. Then let's go. Given QR is 8 cm. Oh, I will write it here lah. And then cos y is 20 over 29. So we all know that the cos formula, okay, is SOHCAHTOA, right? It means definitely this question have to use SOHCAHTOA to solve this question. So cos is kah. It means the 20 is the adjacent, the 29 is the hypotenuse. So I have to go to my angle y, but we have to check whether the angle is inside the right angle triangle or not. If it's not inside, we cannot determine the opposite adjacent hypotenuse. When the angle is inside, baru kita boleh tentukan opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Okay, if the angle is outside, then how? Okay, if the angle is outside the right angle triangle, you take the reference angle. Reference angle means angle towards x. Okay, macam tu lah. Means if the angle is outside, you use the angle inside the right angle triangle to calculate to determine the opposite adjacent hypotenuse. But then at the end, you have to check whether you need to tambah negative or not, depending on which quadrant is the angle lah. Okay, so let's come back here. Cos y is 20 over 29. But let's check first. Is my angle inside the right angle triangle? The answer is yes, because y is exactly inside this right angle triangle, the PQS right angle triangle. It means we can determine our opposite adjacent hypotenuse straight away. So Depan angle kita panggil opposite, depan 90 kita panggil hypotenuse, and the remaining one is the adjacent. And we already know adjacent is 20, so we can erase the A and write 20. But make sure you circle it. Make sure you circle it. Why you have to circle it? Because this might not be the actual length, right? Maybe it's just a ratio, right? It's just a ratio. So it could be just a ratio. So I recommend you circle it. Okay. So macam tu lah. Okay, and then what about 29 is the H. So I'll just erase the H and just write 29. Okay, 29, and then just circle it. Make sure you circle it because it might not be the actual length. Okay, but it can also be just a ratio. And then what about opposite? Well, opposite dia tak bagi, tapi kita boleh guna Pythagoras theorem to find because we have the remaining two sides already. Even though it's ratio, but you can still do it. Okay, you can still find the SP punya ratio using Pythagoras theorem. So it will be bracket square root. So I'm just gonna write SP equals to square root bracket square bracket square. But you will take 29, 20. Okay, will you plus or minus? Minus. Why minus? Because you are not finding the longest side. The longest side is the hypotenuse, the one yang depan 90. So since you are not finding the longest, that's why you minus. Okay, so let's press 29 square minus 20 square equal dulu baru square root. Okay, my calculator give me 21. But of course, this might not be the actual length. So I recommend circle it. Okay, circle it. Okay, after I write all this, now we can see what they want you to find. Determine the value of tangent x. But there is a problem. If I want to find tangent x, there is a problem because my x is not inside the right angle triangle. It means this is not a quadrant 1 angle. It means this is not a quadrant 1 angle. Okay. So you cannot determine your opposite adjacent hypotenuse because usually when you determine opposite adjacent hypotenuse, the angle has to be inside the right angle triangle, and the side yang depan angle we call it opposite. But look at your angle now, it's not even inside the right angle. That's why we tengok depan angle pun tak ada opposite. So what you have to do is you take the reference angle. You take the angle yang dalam 90 degree, which is the reference angle ataupun angle towards x. So if you look carefully, this x is actually quadrant 2. And for quadrant 2 angle, the angle towards x is 180 minus, which is here. So if you take 180 minus here, you will get here. So this angle is inside the right angle. But don't use this triangle. Please. Don't use this triangle. Why cannot use this triangle? Because this triangle is not a right angle. How can you use this? How? Yeah, cannot lah. Okay. So which triangle you use? Let me highlight it for you. You use this one. This one, this one, this one. The PRS triangle. Okay, but I'm gonna erase it because it looks very messy. So this angle is the angle I will use to find tangent x. So let's go again. What is the opposite? Okay, so let me erase all these arrows because it will confuse us. So yeah, so this is the angle we use to determine opposite. Okay, so this is the opposite. And then 90 depan we call it hypotenuse, but this time your hypotenuse is S to R. Okay, S to R. And then the adjacent will be P to R. Yeah, the adjacent is P to R. Okay, the hypotenuse is S to R. Okay, because you are using the big triangle. So now I can find my tangent x, but we have to leave some empty space here. Okay, because you have to check later have to tambah negative or not, right? Because your x is not inside the right angle. So leave some space here. So what is the formula for tangent? Toa. So opposite bahagi adjacent, and the opposite is 21. Can I write 21 here? Yes, right. And then what about the adjacent? The adjacent is from here to here. But the problem here is 20 is like a ratio, right? But 8 is the exact length, right? So how to do this question? We need to convert the ratio to panjang first, right? Because ratio and panjang, dia tak boleh buat sama-sama. So I think this question, the 20 and the 21 and the 29, is the ratio, right? But actually, it's 20 is 20 ratio 20 is same with 20 cm, I think. Yeah, because that's the only way. Because if it's not like that, then tak ada jawapan already, right? Because usually for Frigo question, if they want to make it susah, they will give you the ratio here, okay? But you have to convert the ratio to panjang by, okay, maybe double it or like darab dua, bahagi dua, something like that. But since this question, they never give us any panjang for the line yang ada ratio, so we actually don't know how to convert. There's no other way to for us to know how to convert the ratio to the actual length. So I think the ratio 20 is actually 20 cm. It's the only way, because if I don't assume it like this, then there's no other way already, right? So uh I think this question also got a bit problem lah. Okay, but let's just assume it's 20 cm lah, and then we see what happens. So let's go again. Tangent is opposite bahagi adjacent, so the opposite is 21. But actually, it's not 21 cm. It's the ratio, right? But they never. But there's no way for us to find out how to convert the ratio to panjang. So I'm just gonna write 21, and then same with the adjacent. I will just assume that this ratio 20 is 20 cm plus 8. I have to plus with 8, because it's until here, so it's 28. But I asked you to empty some space in front, right? Why? Because your x is actually a quadrant 2 angle. It's not quadrant 1, so it might not be positive. So let's check. Add sugar to coffee. So tangent, second quadrant, rumah sign. It means negative, because in second quadrant only sign will positive, so tangent have to put negative. So this is the answer, right? But if you look at ABCD, tak ada jawapan, right? Okay, actually ada jawapan, because 21 over 28 can simplify. Both these numbers can divide by 7, and when you divide by 7, you get 3 over 4. Okay, because 21 divide 7 is 3, 28 divide 7 is 4, so that's why the answer is A. Okay, and I also think the question got a bit problem. Okay, they should actually mention, like, how to say, they should actually tell us that if I want to change ratio to the actual length, like, because this might not be the actual length, right? But yeah, but anyways, this is how I would do it lah. I think, yeah, the 20 is the ratio, but it's also the length lah. Okay, it's also the length. Okay, but from my experience, I did a lot of question. Is usually the ratio is not equal to the length one. You have to double it or triple it, or about half the length will be half the ratio or something like that. But this one is like they never tell us, so there's no way for us to find out how to convert. That's why I just do it like that lah. Okay, but anyways, yang penting is you faham, faham the concept, you faham macam mana nak buat sokato, you faham macam mana nak letak apa tangent semua tu lah. Yang tu yang penting sebenarnya. Okay, alright, let's continue. Number 36, diagram 31 shows a graph of trigonometric function. Which of the following represents the graph above? The answer is 4, A. Yeah, A is the answer. Okay, let me explain. For this graph, you should know that it's a sine graph. You look at ABCD also, you know already. So for sine graph, it will look like this. It will be A sine BX plus C. But we need to know what is the A, what is the B, what is the C. A is the amplitude, and the amplitude, you can use this formula, which is the total height, total tinggi, bahagi 2. Right? That is the amplitude. B is the number of cycle in 360 degree. Number of cycle in 360 degree. It means dalam 360 degree ada berapa sine graph. That's what you put at B. And then C is whether the graph got shift upwards or shift downwards. Okay. Okay, let me tell you first. It's always it's always better to determine the value of B first, because B is the easiest one to take out. You just take out from 0 to 360, ada berapa sine graph. So ada berapa sine graph? Satu saja kan? So B sama dengan 1 lah. So B sama dengan 1. And then after you determine B, you determine your amplitude. Okay, amplitude, you will look at the y-axis, sini dengan sini. So if the amplitude have the same number, for example, 2 negative 2, 3 negative 3, 5 negative 5, 7 negative, if your amplitude is like that, 7 negative 7, 6 negative 6, like that, it means your C will be 0. I repeat one more time. If your y-axis punya number here is like 7 negative 7 ataupun 5 negative 5, okay, let's say it's 7 negative 7 lah, it means your C will be 0 and your A will be 7, because the amplitude is 7 and then the C is 0 because it means it never move up. But for case yang macam ni, yang 6 negative 2, it means you know the graph got either shift up or shift down already, confirm. Because if it doesn't move up, move down, you will not see like this one. You will either see 2 negative 2 or 6 negative 6. But since it's like 6 negative 2, then you know the C later have to letak number already. And the amplitude also, you cannot write 6. The amplitude, you cannot write 6, and you cannot write 2. You have to take the total height bahagi 2, which means you have to calculate the distance from here to here and then divide by 2. Okay, what is the distance from here to here? From here to here got 6 unit. From here to here got 2 unit. Ignore the negative. I don't want the negative. I only want how many? I want the distance. I don't want the negative. So the total here is 8 unit. So you have to divide by 2. So you get 4. Rupa-rupanya your amplitude is 4. But if your amplitude is 4, what you should write in your y-axis should be 4, -4, right? But why this one they never write 4, -4? Why they write 6, -2? Because got move up lah. Because got move up. That's why it becomes cacat already. That's why it becomes 6, -2. That's why it becomes like this. So tell me now, 4 how to become 6 plus 2, right? And then -4 how to become -2? Also plus 2. It means that the whole graph sudah naik 2. It means your equation will be y equals a sine bx plus c, and the a is 4. So 4 sine. Bx means 1x, so just x. And then plus c is plus 2. That's why a is the answer. Okay? So hope you understand my explanation. Let's go. Number 37. In the beginning of year 2023, Puan Laila saves 10500 in her savings account. So I think this is the principal. The bank pays an annual interest of 4% per year. This is the interest rate. So this is the R. And it's compounded. Okay, this word very important. When you see the word compounded in the soalan, it means this is not a simple interest question. It's a compound interest question, and you need to use compound interest formula, which is mv equals to p1 plus r over n power nt. Okay. There's another formula called the PRT, but this formula we only use it for simple interest. Okay. But if you see the word compound, then you have to use this formula. This is the formula for compound interest. So it says compounded once in every 4 months. Calculate the interest received by Puan Laila at the end of second year. Okay, let me tell you how to use this formula. First, let's explain what what is all this represents first. Okay. So MV stands for matured value. Matured value means the original value plus with the interest ataupun the dividend lah. It's like matured value is like the value yang sudah including the original value include with the interest and all the dividend, all those things. Then we call it matured value. Okay. And then P stands for principal. What is principal? Principal is the original amount you saved, but it can also be the amount you pinjam from bank, the original amount that you pay. Okay. So the concept here is principal is actually the amount before you tambah the interest lah. The amount before you tambah the interest. Matured value is the amount after you tambah all the interest and all the dividend. But principal is the amount before the original amount that you haven't include all the interest and saving and the dividend. Okay, R is the interest rate. So I'll just write here lah. Interest rate, and it's usually in percentage. Okay, and then N is the number of times compounded in 1 year. Number of times compounded in 1 year. Okay. Okay, then what about the T? Okay, the N and this N is same, and then T is what? T is how many years? Okay, how many years? Not how many months, how many years? Okay. All right. Now you understand this already. Now I can do this question. So this question actually they ask us to find interest, but sadly this formula is not for you to find interest. This formula is for you to find matured value. It means matured value is the amount after you tambah include all the interest, right? So what you have to do is you use this formula first, but after you use this formula, you have to minus with the 10500, which is the original amount. Then only you can get the interest. So I repeat one more time. This formula cannot help you find interest. This formula will help you find the amount including the interest. So after you use this formula, you have to minus with the principal. After you find the matured value, you have to minus with the original amount. Then only you can know how berapa sudah tambah. Then only you can find the interest. Okay, let's read one more time this question. Why Nala save 1050? So that's definitely this is the P. Okay, the principal. Okay, the original amount before you tambah the interest. The first amount lah. The bank pays an interest rate 4%. So this is the R, and the R is 4 divided 100, so 0.04. And is compounded once every 4 months. So this is trying to tell you the N, because N is the number of times compounded in 1 year. But if they say compounded once every 4 months, it means the N is 3. You know why? Because 1 year got 12 months. And if I compounded every 4 months, it means in 1 year, I already compound 3 times. Okay. Okay. Another way to explain this is you just take 12 months, divide 4. It's 3. It means that if I compounded every 4 months, in 1 year, I can compound 3 times. That's why the number of times compounded in 1 year is 3. Okay. And the last part, it says calculate the interest received by point lala at the end of second year. So this second year also important because they will give you the T, which is 2 lah. Because second year means because T is for you to masuk years. So now I can just masuk all these formula inside. So P is the principal 10500 bracket 1 plus R over N 0.04 divide 3 and then power with NT, which is power 3 power 2. Okay, now we just press all these in the calculator. Okay, first of all, these 3 and 2 you have to times together. So it becomes 6. So later I have to power 6. So let's press 1 plus 0.04 divide 3 and then answer power 6. Okay, and then after that, you would take the whole thing answer times with 10500. Okay, if you press this in your calculator, you will get 11368.50. But why tak ada jawapan? Why no answer? I already explained to you, this is not the interest. This is the matured value. I already said it in the beginning, right? Matured value is the total amount, including all the interest and the dividend, everything already. So the soalan actually find interest. So that's why in the beginning I mentioned, after you find your matured value, you still have to minus with the original amount, which is the principal 10500. So now let's press answer minus 10500. Now only they will give you the answer. Okay, my calculator give me 868.50. So B is the answer, right? So hope you understand my explanation. All right, let's go to 38. Okay, this one you can skip because 36, 37 is like, I already did with you just now. So this one, skip it. Now we do 38. Let's read the question. Which of the following is a tree with a minimum total weight? Okay, you need to understand what is tree. Actually, this is exam famous. Question 3. Yeah, they ask a lot of many times actually. So this one is like you must know this. Okay, you must know this. So what is the characteristic of tree? Okay, tree is actually a type of subgraph. What is subgraph? Subgraph means part of the whole graph or the whole graph redrawn. But there's 4 characteristics. Okay, it's a type of subgraph, but it has four of these characteristics. First characteristic is all vertices must be connected. It means tak boleh ada isolated vertex. Isolated vertex means satu vertex yang tak ada line sambung dekat dia. So all vertices must be connected. Second is it must be a simple graph. What is simple graph? No loops, no multiple edges. Okay, simple graph. The third characteristic is no cycle. No cycle. No cycle means when you have vertices, and they, how to say, they form a cycle lah. Means other like cycle, then tak boleh lah. And then the fourth characteristic is the number of edges, NE must always be NV minus 1. So the NE must equals to NV minus 1. Okay. So usually if I'm doing objective, I will straight away check for the cycle. And the yang other cycle one, I straight away will potong one. So which of the following is a tree with minimum total weight? So I will not look at the minimum weight first. I will just focus on the tree first. So tree must be no cycle, right? So A wrong already because this is a cycle. B also wrong. Okay, B tak ada cycle tapi the other loops. So when there's loops, it cannot be tree because tree must be simple graph. So what about C and D? C ada cycle tak? Tak ada. D pun tak ada cycle. Okay, some student might say, hey, sir, this one is cycle lah. No, 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 look carefully. The vertices T duduk dekat sini. So this is actually not this is actually a tree also. Unless if I put the T here lah. If I put the T here, then yeah, then this C is salah already. Because if the T is here, then this is not a tree anymore. You faham maksud saya? Because tree cannot have cycle. But the T is not at the intersection point. The T is actually here. So this is actually tak ada cycle. And if you try to calculate the NE and the NV, you will really get NE equals NV minus 1. If you don't believe me, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 NV equals to 5. And then the NE equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. You see? 4. Can you see? The NE, which is 4, is exactly equals to 5 minus 1. Yeah. Okay. But imagine if the T I letak here. If the T I letak here, then it becomes like this, like this, like this. Okay, and then like this, and then like this already, right? Okay, if the T I letak here. So now, if it's this case, then it's not 3 already. Because what is the NV? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But what is the number of edges? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh? Cannot 3 lah. Because I tell you already, number of edges have to be 1 less than it. Okay, but that is why the T position is important. So if it's not positioned here, then yeah, it's still considered a tree. I hope you understand my explanation lah. I will explain one last time. This is considered to be a tree because it has no cycle, because the T is not here. If the T is here, then it's a cycle already. Then it cannot be a tree. But this thing actually is possible for it to be tree. Then what about D? Yeah, D is also can be a tree. So now which one I have to choose for my answer, C or D? Well, if you read the question, they got mentioned with minimum total weight. So you calculate the weight lah. You calculate the weight here, and then you calculate the weight here and see which one minimum lah. So if I want to calculate this, I will take 3 plus 3 plus 7 plus 5. So these are all the weights. 3 plus 3, 6 plus 5, 11 plus 7, 18. 4 plus 4, 8 plus 6, 14 plus 5, 19. So which one minimum? C is the answer. Right? Because dia lebih sikit. And if you check the condition, dia akan satisfy all 4 of the characteristic. All vertices connected, simple graph, no cycle. Yeah, I already say this doesn't count as cycle. Unless the T is here, then you count it as cycle. And then the NV is NV minus 1. I already proved it to you just now. Okay, so C is the correct answer. Okay, let's do 39. Diagram 32 shows an ogive of the mass in 60 mango. So this is measures of dispersion question, and it's an ogive. Let's see what they want. Which of the following is not true? So let's do A. So A says what? Maximum value for the mass of mangoes is 650 gram. Wait, what does it mean? Maximum value. Oh, okay, I think I understand. So do you remember when we draw box plot, we need to have 5 information? Minimum value, this one maximum value, and then Q1, Q2, Q3, right? But guess what? Q1, Q2, Q3 is here, right? Okay, and how you find the Q1, Q2, Q3? You can find it from the ogive, right? But the minimum value actually is the Q0. Yeah, it's the Q0. In this case, it's 590. Okay, and then the maximum value you can actually call it the Q4. Okay, but actually we don't call it Q4 lah. I would just want it make it like easy for you to understand. So for example, from the ogive, if you want to find Q2, what you will do is you will take 1/2 times with the total frequency 60, and then you will get 30, and then you tarik macam ni, right? That's how you find the Q2. So imagine if you want to find the maximum value. It means you will straight away take the maximum frequency 60, and you will not times with anything. You will straight away just go here and then tarik here. And you can see you will get 650. That is why A is true. Okay, A is true. Hope you understand. Now let's talk about B. 50% of the mass of the mangoes are at most 630 gram. At most means, what is the symbol? At most means smaller. At most means smaller, because at most means maximum. It means dia smaller, dia maximum 630. So dia kena smaller or equal 630. Okay, how to prove this to you? 50% means you are finding median. You are finding half, right? So what I will do is I will use the median to show you that is true. So first of all, I will take 1/2 times with the total frequency 60, which is 30. And then to get the median, I will go to my y-axis, cari 30. And then I will tarik satu line macam ni. Right? And the moment is sentuh the curve, I will tarik bawah. This is how you find the Q2. Okay, it means what is your Q2? What is your median? 630. But I need you to know that this 630 means, 30 mangoes have mass less than 630 gram. Okay, this is what it means. Okay, because whenever you tarik macam ni it will always be for the less than, because 30 is the cumulative. It means this 30 is like all, it's not just for it's 30, like it's like all the previous frequency add together one. So is the 30 mangoes is for this 30 mangoes have mass less than 630 grams. That's what it means. Okay. But what it says here, 50% of the mangoes are at most 630 grams. It's true lah. This one is true because 50% of the mass of mangoes means 30 lah, because total got 60 mangoes, right? So if I say 50%, half of it is 30 lah. So they are saying that 30 mangoes, 50% means 30 mangoes at most 630 grams, which is correct because 30 mangoes, yeah, they actually have mass less than 630 grams. Okay, and most 600. So yeah, B is true actually. Okay. Okay, now for C. The mass of 45 mangoes are more than 620 gram. How can I prove this to you? Mass of 45 mangoes are more than 620. Okay, I'll make it smaller a bit. Okay, let's go. 640. I mean 620. So what I'll do here is I will look at this. So these are the cumulative frequency, right? So if I say mass of 45 mangoes, what I will do? I will
look at this. Because if I say mass of 45 mangoes are more than 620 gram, but the problem with this is when we tarik from the dotted line here, we can only find mass less than. We cannot find mass more than. So if they are saying mass of 45 mangoes, but the total got 60 mangoes, right? So if 60 minus 45, you will get 15. So I will try to find 15 mangoes punya. I will try to find the first 15 mangoes. So in order to find 15, I will go to 15 here and then tarik satu line and then tarik bawah. And please tell me what this means. It means 15 mango have mass more than or less than? It's always less than. Less than what? Less than 620 gram. Okay. But the statement here says the mass of 45 mangoes are more than 620 gram, which is true lah. You know why? Because, okay, imagine there's 60 mango, right? Total. And 15 mango, the mass is less than 620 gram. It means the remaining 45 has to be more than 620 gram lah. But why I don't tarik from 45? Okay, I cannot tarik from 45 because if I tarik from 45 and I tarik bawah, I'm finding 45 mangoes mass have to less than how much? Which is not what I want because they are saying mass of 45 mango more than 620. So I have to convert the information jadi less than, because you can only find mango yang mass less than from your OGIF. That is why if I say 45 more than 620, it means 15 mango less than 620 lah. And then I try to find 15 and check whether betul tak dia dapat 620, and it's betul. I already proved to you. That's why this is true. So that's why the only answer here is D lah. Okay, but I will prove it. I will explain also lah. So D says what? Interquartile range is 30 mangoes. So how to find interquartile range? Q3 minus Q1. Okay, I already explained how to find Q1, Q2. Let's try to find Q1. Q1 is like you have to take 1 over 4. 1 over 4 times with the total frequency first, which is 60, and you get 15, and then you go to 15 tarik. Okay, I sudah tarik tadi. So your Q1 is 620. Yeah. And then what about the Q3? Q3, you have to take 3 over 4 times 60, which is 45. And then you go to 45, and then you tarik. Okay, I think it's 3, 4. I think it's lebih kurang here. Yep. And then you tarik bawah, and it will jatuh where? 639, 638, 637, 636, is it? 7, 8, yeah, 636. Okay, 636. So this is your Q3, this is your Q1. So what is the difference? The difference will be 636 minus 620, which is, let's press calculator. The difference is 16. Okay, means the interquartile range is 16 lah. Because the interquartile range formula is Q3 minus Q1. But what it says here, the interquartile range for the data above is 30, which is not correct because it's 16 only. Yeah. So which of the following is not true, right? The soalan asked which one is not true, so D is not true lah, right? So I hope you understand my explanation. And now I can go to my last question. After this, finish already. Okay, number 40. I think this is a loan question. Let's read. Encik Zainal bought a car worth 90,000 on credit. He pays 10% down payment. What is down payment? Down payment means the money that you pay first. The money that you pay first. Then what about the remaining 90%? I will pinjam from bank. Okay, I will pinjam from bank and then I will pay monthly installment to finish the to pay back the bank lah. Okay, the balance is payable in installment over 7 years. The flat interest rate imposed by the bank is 4% per annum. What is the monthly installment to be paid by Encik Zainal? Okay, you cannot find the monthly installment first. You have to find the total loan repayment first. And which formula I will use for this question? This formula, A equals P plus PRT. Okay, why the formula is like this? Because the formula for I interest is PRT. It means to calculate the total loan repayment, it has to be the original value plus with the interest. And the interest formula is PRT. Okay, and we already know the P is how much? It's not 90,000, please. P, because I already paid 10%, it means the 10% of the amount is settled already. So the P should be 90% times with 90,000. So if you press calculator, you'll get potong, 99,81000. So this is your P, 81,000. Okay, and then what about the 7? The 7 is the T lah. Okay, because 7 years, right? And then the 4% is the R. okay, which is 4%. So you can write 0.04, or you can write 4 divided 100. It's the same thing. So this is your P, this is your R, this is your T. So now I can calculate my interest, which is I will take 81000 times 7 times 0.04. But this one is just the interest. Okay, that's why I said the formula is not just PRT. You still have to plus with the P, 81000. Then only you can get your A. A stands for total loan repayment. Okay. Okay, let's tekan yang belakang dulu, yang ini dulu. So 81000 times 7 times 0.04. Okay, my calculator give me 22680. But hello, this is not the amount that you pay back to the bank. The amount you pinjam is 81,000. Takkanlah you pinjam ini, you bayar balik yang ni. No, no, it's not possible. The amount yang you bayar balik have to be more than 81,000. It means that the total loan repayment you have to plus lagi dengan 81,000. So the total loan repayment is how much? 103680. So this is the amount that I have to bayar balik kepada bank. The amount I pinjam is this, but the amount I bayar balik is this one, right? But I will bayar monthly, right? I will bayar monthly installment over 7 years. So what I have to do is I will take 103680 bahagi 7 dulu. Why bahagi 7? Because I want to know for 1 year, right? But I want to know for 1 month, so I bahagi 12 again, right? I repeat one more time. This is the amount I have to bayar balik kepada bank over 7 years. So I bahagi 7 so that supaya saya boleh tahu 1 year berapa. And then 1 year, 1 year got 12 months. So to get 1 month, I divide 12 again. So let's press calculator. Divide 7, divide 12. Okay, my calculator give me 1234.29. So the answer is A. Itu jawapan dia. Okay, hope you understand. I think this is the end already. So, yep. Sudah siap. Bye-bye. See you next video.